Montgomery.
ABC Sports presents our 20th year of NCAA football. Among the many memories from those years, let's go back 1 year. Birmingham, as Alabama's Bear Bryant coaches his 315th career victory against arch-rival Auburn, breaking Amos Alonzo Stagg's all-time winning mark. Today, many of the same people in the same place in the same fracas. There is one new face for the Auburn Tigers, 244-pound running back Bo Jackson, teaming with the scat-back Lionel James. They are the prime punchers for Auburn. Quarterback Walter Lewis will lead the Tide offense, one of the most versatile and dangerous players in the country at that position. Auburn and Alabama, both 7-3 and both headed for postseason bowl games. They call it in Alabama the Iron Bowl, and this is the 1982 edition. The series reflected there, and if it is in fact the Iron Bowl, you can expect a whole lot of scrap iron to be left when the scuffling is done today, because they really get after each other in this old long-running series. And right now, the home team, Alabama, entering Legion Field. Alabama headed for the Liberty Bowl against Illinois. The coach, Paul Bryant, his 25th year at Tuscaloosa, the winningest coach of all time over his 37 years as the head coach, 322 wins, 84 losses, and 17 ties. Yeah, he's counting the house. They split the gate 50-50, and now here comes the Auburn Tigers, 7-3, headed for the Tangerine Bowl against Boston College. Pat Dye, the head coach, his second year. Again, everybody, I'm Keith Jackson. This has, without question, been a disappointing season for Paul Bryant and the Crimson Tide of Alabama. About the midway of the season, they had that big win over Penn State, 42-21. Myself, a lot of people in this country, Paul Bryant, thought this might be one of the best Alabama teams ever. But since that time, there have been 3 losses. And it's accelerated rumors that Bryant, at age 69, would quit at the end of this season. Last night, he told me emphatically, no. Frank Broyles, known him all these years, visited with him just recently. He told you no.
He certainly did. He's previously expressed to me many times that he wanted to coach until they told him that he couldn't, or he wanted to be drug out in a box. But let's not forget his winning record, because in terms of winning, Eddie Robinson of Grambling is only 14 games behind him, and I don't think he wants to quit until he's firmly established as the winning coach of all time.
One of the problems, though, that goes with this rumor that he's going to quit is the element of recruiting, because obviously other coaches are saying, particularly the skilled people, that mamas and daddies, the old man may not be there next year.
Bear has found himself in a strange position. He's established himself as the greatest coach in America, and now he's got to reestablish himself that he can continue to coach because of his age. And the mamas and the daddies and these great prospects have got to be convinced of that, or they will go right over to Auburn.
One of the interesting things, too, about this ball game, since Pat Dye coached under Paul at Alabama, I get the feeling that Paul Bryant today is worried more about Pat Dye than Pat Dye is worried about Paul Bryant.
Well, he did not want Pat Dye to come to Auburn. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if he hadn't dangled this Alabama job in front of him if he'd stay away. And the reason is that Pat's a great football coach. He doesn't want to coach against Pat. He cannot psych Pat out like he has the Auburn coaches of the past when he would say, we should always beat Auburn. We're the state university.
I would say that, knowing both men as well as I know him, that Pat is almost a mirror of Bryant.
I think that he is. He has the same style, the same substance, the same personality pretty much, and he believes in coaching people and not football, and that's their strength.
It is a sellout at Legion Field in Birmingham. They split the ticket sales 50-50. It's going to be noisy, and it's going to be a lot of fun.
NCAA College.
A look down on the city of Birmingham, Alabama, on a day with a temperature in the low 60s. It is a gray, overcast kind of a day. Legion Field, however, is one of the most colorful places in the country, always when Auburn and Alabama get together. And the Crimson Tide will kick off. Terry Sanders, a sophomore from Birmingham, will hit the ball. Lionel James, a junior for Auburn, waits for it deep in the end zone. There will be no return. Looking now at the offensive backfield, Randy Campbell. They told him a year ago he couldn't play quarterback, but look what he's done. And Bo Jackson, the big freshman from Bessemer, powerhouse of a man. Lionel James, the speedster, little guy, can fly. Ron O'Neal, big fullback, 5'9", 245. Wide out is Mike Edwards, 6'4", 194, big man with good speed. And now we come to the first play of the ball game. Auburn wearing the white. And Campbell sets him up out of the wishbone formation. And they will run the triple option most of the time. But you can expect today probably to see him working some out of the eye. The ball goes to Bo Jackson, the freshman from the 20. He's got two, out to about the 22. Making the tackle, Eddie Lowe for Alabama, the weak side linebacker.
Eddie Lowe is not very big for a linebacker, but what Bear believes in is speed and quickness. Eddie's only 5'11", 190 pounds. But he knows where the football is. He reads very quickly. Then he can react and come up with a good tackle to stop Jackson, number 34.
And it's 2nd down and 8 for Auburn from their own 22. Same formation, double wide. And the pitch goes back to Lionel James. He's got a big hole. Around the corner, he gets it up to the 27, wrestles to the 28, and there he is stopped by Al Blue, the free safety. The Auburn offensive front shaped up with Ed West, the tight end, 6'1", 245, primarily a blocker. Steve Wallace at tackle, 265, a freshman. David Jordan at guard, 266, a junior. Bishop Reeves, a center, 255, a senior. Randy Stokes, 256, freshman at guard. And Pat Arrington, 263, junior at tackle. War Eagle, they call him. And it's 3rd down and 2 from the 28-yard line as Campbell goes down the line on the option, goes outside with it. Look what I found. Pitch to Bo Jackson, tries to get around the corner, slides across the 30. And that football almost got loose as Stan Gay, the right side cornerback, brings him down. The advance is just short of the 30. It'll bring up 4th down. Defensively, Alabama's unit, Russ Wood, Randy Edwards, Mike Rodriguez, Jackie Klein. Mike Pitts, backers of Booker and Lowe, the secondary. Castile, Gay, Colburn, Blue. Auburn won't fool around with it with 4th and a half a yard. They'll punt it out of there. Lewis Colbert, a sophomore from Phoenix City, will punt it. This young man is quite a story. He has a club foot. Doesn't bother it. Fine athlete. Gets his kick out of there. Sort of a tail dragger that takes a high bounce and kicks out of bounds. He didn't get a whole lot of yardage out of it. And Colbert was rattled after he came back down to the ground, but no penalty flag. He only got 30 yards. Walter Lewis will start at quarterback. A junior for Alabama. Paul Caruth will be at the halfback spot, 210 pounds. Jeff Fagan, the fullback, 200 pounds. And Ricky Moore in the fullback position at 235. Joey Jones is one wide out, 5'9", 165, and the tight end, or actually a second wide out, will be Jesse Bendross, number 88. They're going to try some new formations today, breaking the bone against Auburn. And Walter Lewis back to throw on 1st down. He's going big for Joey Jones. He missed him. And it is incomplete. There was contact once the ball was gone, but no contact in the vicinity of the ball, and we'll isolate on Joey Jones and see what kind of a threat he can be.
Joey Jones is excellent at running his pass routes, and he has outstanding speed. He gets behind Drinker Numdaky. The key is watch Drinker turn his head. If he doesn't play the ball, he turns just in time to play the ball and knock it away. Otherwise, it might have been pass interference.
Yeah, that back judge was reaching for the flag, and then he turned his head, and that saved him. It is 2nd down and 10 for Alabama from their own 40. Out of the wishbone now. And Jones is wide to the left side, and Walter Lewis is out there naked by himself and takes a lick as he gets it up to the 44. Scott Riley, defensive end, knocks him down. A senior from Birmingham. Alabama's offensive front, Jesse Bendross lining up at the tight end. He is a speedster. Doug Vickers, 248-pound junior at tackle. Gary Bramlett, 252 senior at guard. Steve Mott, the center, 250 a senior. Mike Adcock, 245-pound junior at guard. And Bob Kayavek, 252 a senior at tackle. The ball is on the Alabama 44. It is 3rd down and 6. Bendross to the top of the picture. Joey Jones to the wide side of the field, and Lewis is back to throw it, getting some heat. Sets up the screen. The pass is knocked off to the fullback Moore. Moore gets an Alabama 1st down as he crosses midfield and goes to about the Auburn 44.
What a great call. 3rd and long. Wishbone teams aren't known for their possession-type passing, and one of the best plays for the Wishbone would be the screen. Easy throw. You treat it sort of like a running play. You just lay it out to your fullback, get a couple linemen out in front of you, and it's the 1st down. Excellent execution by the Alabama offense.
Tide working now at the Plainsman's 44. Bendross now comes to the open side of the field, the bottom of the picture with Joey Jones to the top. They break the bone again. And Lewis is straight back. Alabama opening up with the pass. Again, same play the other way. Ball goes to Ricky Moore. Moore shows some moves, gets 4 as he pounces to about the 40-yard line. Defensively for Auburn, this is the way they line up with Riley, Smith, Ortman, Thomas, and Jackson along the front. Carr, Martin. They are the linebackers. The secondary, King, Drinkard, Collier, and Harris. Dorman is still hurt, not in there. 1st quarter of play in Legion Field, Birmingham, Alabama. 2nd down, 6 Alabama. Ball on the Auburn 40. No score, 1st quarter. Lewis going down the line, pitches the ball to Carruth. Carruth trying to turn the corner. Good defensive play by 43, Chris Martin. Now 42 it was coming across to make the hit for Auburn.
Alabama with 2 split receivers, Bendross and Jones, opens up the secondary and gives some room for running, and that's their strategy, trying to break out the Auburn defense from being bunched inside where they're very strong.
There is some wind on the field. It is a bowl, and the wind tends to swirl around and be troublesome. 3rd down, they need 3. Lewis going to put it in the air. He goes to the sidelines for Jones, and Jones is out of bounds. Pass is incomplete.
Jones, the wide receiver, into the boundary. Make the defensive back think deep. That was the move that he just put on. Turn, establish eye contact with the ball, and the pass is a little bit late. He's got 1 foot in bounds, but he didn't have control of it. He's still juggling the ball right there when he fell out.
It is 4th down.
It's close.
3 for Alabama at the Auburn 37. Bendross and Jones come out. Tide will punt it.
Now we have the quarterback. They're shifting up.
They're going to go.
Something tricky.
4th and 3 as Lewis came back in a short punt formation. And all that fiddling around has done is use up time on the clock. And it's going to cost Alabama 5 yards. And now Simmons will come in to do the punting. Malcolm Simmons, who is averaging in 1982 just over 43 yards per punt. And in his career, just under 44.
Delay, offense, 25-second count.
If you examine the record, Bear is known for his shifting in and out of punt formation on short yardage to try to draw the defense offside.
There are your officials for today. The referee, Bob Allier, Harold Johnson, Norbert Ackerman, Bob Caldwell, Joe Delaney, Billy Tees. And Simmons will try to hang it up there. He's not going to be able to. That's going to hit on the goal line and bounce onto the end zone. It was Lewis. Lewis did the punting. So Lewis stayed in there. There's a penalty flag on the field. We'll check it when we come back. Took 3 days to get it over here from Houston. Pilot is Larry Chambers out of Spring, Texas. No flag. They picked it up. Malcolm Simmons went in, the punter. He lined up in a slot back position, and Walter Lewis, the quarterback, did the punting. Look out for that one later today. I'm surprised he showed it this soon. Auburn to the attack from the 20. Randy Campbell, the quarterback, keeps on the option, turns it upfield for 2 yards where Eddie Lowe brings him down.
Many times coaches would tell you size is important. but really instincts at linebacker is really what makes them great. They somehow know where the ball is. Eddie Lowe, number 57, did not take the fake of the dive back. He moved right to the outside. Something told him it was going to be the option play to make the tackle.
Younger brother of an All-American here at Alabama, Woodrow Lowe. Woody going on to a fine career in professional football. 2nd down and 8 for Auburn. They take it inside. Here's Campbell's first pass of the day. Got a man. It's good. The pass is caught up at the 39-yard line by Chris Woods, a junior from Birmingham.
When the defense and start trying to stop the wishbone leaves the wide receiver pretty much open for the intermediate patterns, and you can see Woods, number 1, breaks to the outside. He cradles the ball inside for the first down. Holds on to it.
Campbell is a 52% passer,
which is pretty good for the wishbone these days.
Woods is the leading receiver. That's his 20th catch of the season. First down for the Tigers at their own 39. As they pick up 17 yards on that play. Take it inside on the fake. Campbell keeps it. A lot of red shirts after him. And he moves out near the 44 for the better part of 5 yards. Russ Wood brings him down.
Randy Campbell, the quarterback for Auburn, is a story in himself as we look at the two coaches. Randy was not able to make the team last year and played split in. A new offensive coach joined Pat Dye's staff, and he worked his way up to the starting quarterback simply because he doesn't make mistakes. Auburn leads the nation in the fewest number of turnovers, 13 for the season, and only 2 interceptions out of 145 attempts.
Not too bad. 2nd down, about 6. They'll go inside with it. And it's out to the 48. Bo Jackson is a freshman, 6'1", 224 pounds from Bessemer, and they really think he's going to be a dandy.
Pat Dye says he's the 2nd best talent in the Southeastern Conference, meaning to Herschel Walker. Jackson has tremendous speed. He's running from the right halfback position, meaning he's running to the left, Keith, and it's more difficult to make the cuts for a natural right-hander going to the left. There you see the yardage gained by the 2 leading ball carriers for Auburn.
And Lionel James, little guy, before he's dynamite, and he runs very well in traffic. Alabama sets up a 6-man front. They give the ball to James, and they run into a bus. And he stops right about the line of scrimmage. Mike Pitts, big 255-pound senior from Baltimore, makes the stop. It'll be 4th down. And they need a yard.
It appears that Auburn will take the chance here. The ball's still on their own 47-yard line. They appear to be go for it. Wishbone attack should be able to make it, but Auburn has not run a play up the middle so far in this ball game.
That has been successful.
That has been successful. That's correct.
Well, I tell you, I think this is the game. Greg Pratt, sophomore, 220-pounder out of Albany, Georgia, comes in and sticks his head in the pile, and it's close, Frank.
It depends entirely on the spot of the official, and I don't believe that he made it. I cannot see the spot from here.
They will measure. So Bob Allier wants the chain on to make sure it's that close. But that's a considerable risk from your own 48, needing a good yard, trying to stick your head in against an Alabama defense that had been raked over the coals the last couple of weeks. Now the coaching staff, because they have not played all that well. Tommy Wilcox has now come on the field. Tommy has been hurt, didn't make it. So Tommy came out, had a look, and comes right back off, and now timeout is called with 6 minutes and 56 seconds to play in the first quarter. Alabama holds Auburn and takes over the ball at the Auburn 49. Well, let's see if that gamble by Pat Dye and the Auburn Tigers backfires on them now as Alabama gets the ball, first down on the Auburn 49. Walter Lewis is the quarterback out of the full wishbone, and Lewis coming left. Good runner. And he's down to the 45 for 4 yards. Greg Carr made the stop, a sophomore from Birmingham for Auburn. Frank, you were noting a moment ago while we were away that Alabama has turned the ball over a lot this year, some, 30-odd times, and it seemed strange that they wouldn't kick that ball on down there and let Alabama have a chance to make a mistake.
The team has a tendency to self-destruct. Let them handle the ball on their end of the field. When they make a mistake, you have great scoring opportunities. Most coaches believe in that theory.
Joe Carter is now in the backfield, number 46, as they break the bone. And they've got Jones wide out. And Lewis gives it to Joey Jones in the reverse. Auburn played it very well. They force him wide, but Jones has great speed. And Joey's quick feet gets him around the corner as he jukes an Auburn defender and gets a first down for Alabama down around the 33. David King and Tim Drinkard finally get him out of bounds.
The reverse play has always been something. When I was coaching against the Wishbone, it scared me to death. You have to take off and try to stop the option so quickly that you leave yourself vulnerable. 92, Riley, just gets out-maneuvered by Jones, and he turns downfield and makes a nice play.
See that big old center Steve Mott downfield throwing a block as well. So it's first down Alabama at the Auburn 33. And Lewis takes it out of the fullback's belly, keeps it himself, gets to the 30 for 3 yards, hit hard by Chris Martin. Christopher nailed him. He's a senior out of Huntsville, Alabama. Coming up next Saturday, another traditional Arkansas and Texas. Arkansas headed for the Bluebonnet Bowl, and Texas going to the Sun Bowl, but that's one of those jaw-to-jaw jobs where they, at least for an afternoon, they don't care much for each other. It'll be fun to watch, won't it?
Yeah, both teams feel that they can play with any football team in America, and Texas is really on an upswing right now.
Second down with about 7. As Lewis gives the ball inside this time, he let the fullback have it, and Ricky Moore, the big sophomore from Huntsville, punches in there and gets another first down for Alabama. And so now the Tide marching along. They're down on the Auburn 22 with 5 minutes and 20 seconds to play in the first quarter and no score.
The first leg of the Wishbone is to pull back up the middle. The center, Steve Mott, Mike Adcock, and Gary Bramlett opened up a nice hole. Some coaches feel that you just got to establish that fullback first before you can go outside.
Joe Carter entered a halfback spot now. He's a junior from Starkville, Mississippi. Lewis back to throw it. He's got Jones over the middle, down to the corner, and it is incomplete. I think if Joey Jones had stayed on his route toward the goalpost, he might have broken totally free, but he turned it back into the corner, and the pass was late.
The strong move to the inside, as Keith said, was to the goalpost. Number 27, King, is an outstanding defender for Auburn. Leads the team in interceptions and very good on man-to-man coverage. What we call a post corner.
Ben Ross to the left, Jones to the right. Second down and 10, Lewis back. He looks over the middle. He's got a man, Jones. He's out of the end zone. Oh, they get him the touchdown. He dragged the foot. He looked to me like he was going to sail right out of the end zone, but he had to drag a foot down. And it goes for a 22-yard touchdown.
Jones is the only receiver on either team that's caught over 2 passes the ball game. Let's see if he is, in fact, legal with the reception. Remember that Jones has to make contact with the ground before he goes out of the end zone. Let's see what happens.
He got his left foot down.
What a play.
Oh, boy.
Is that concentration? Outstanding play by Jones.
Just barely touched that left foot down. Peter Kim is in for the extra point try, and it is good. With 4:44 to go in the first quarter, 7-0 Alabama. And Auburn's Gamble did have a short fuse. On the city of Birmingham, kind of a gray, overcast day, but it's dry and fairly comfortable with the temperature in the low 60s. 7-0 Alabama first quarter. Terry Sanders kicks it off. Lionel James deep for Auburn. Hangs it up. James may have a chance with this one. 3 yards deep. He's coming out. And he brings it out just short of the 25. Another look at the Alabama touchdown.
Alabama offensive formation is stretching the defense. 2 wide outs. And you can see what happens when you can stretch the defense wide. The middle is open. And you can see how wide open Jones, number 4, is, and he makes a sensational catch, dragging his left foot. 1 foot is all the college rule needs to be a legal reception. Here it is again. You can see that King is beaten on the play, number 27. There's the drag of the foot, control the ball, touchdown.
Auburn comes to the attack on first down, and they go inside. And boy, I'll tell you, the Red Elephants jump all over Greg Pratt as he punches it over the 25 out to about the 27. It'll be second down and 8. And those are the figures on the Alabama scoring drive. as Auburn gambled on 4th and 1 and gave the ball up on their own 49, and Hyde took it in.
You can see the emotions that the Alabama team are playing with today. They know how important this game is for their program. Bear has made that clear to them.
They've got a 5-man front up there right now against Auburn. And Campbell hands the ball inside. And Greg Pratt again, and there just isn't a lot of room right now in the middle of the Alabama defense.
As we look at Bear Bryant on Wednesday, the last remark that he made to his team went like this: men, you better fight when you're out there, or don't plan to be back next year. And he meant it, too.
Ball is on the 29, where it is 3rd down and 6. Campbell, stand up. Hopper, no. Pass intended for Mike Edwards. Good plan. Edwards had the size advantage on the Alabama defender, but the pass was a little beyond his grasp, and so Auburn will have to punt. The last kick we had was a 30-yarder from Lewis Colbert.
Keith, Alabama tried to block the last one. They must have some scouting report thinking that they could go and maybe block.
They're going to send 10. Paul Carruth is the beat man for Alabama, and 10 are going. And he gets it out of there, and it's a pretty good kick. Carruth backs up and takes the ball at his 27. And comes back to the 31. It was a 44-yard punt by Colbert. Tackle made by Willie Howell. 3:11 to play first quarter. Alabama leading Auburn 7-0. Alabama's football. Call it the 31. And Walter Lewis stays at quarterback with Lenny Patrick in the ball game for the first time, with Joe Carter. The fullback is Ricky Moore. And it's Carter up in the slot with Lewis on a roll out left. He'll pull it down, or he'll throw it. He chooses to throw it, and he throws it to Joey Jones. And the little man, 5'9", 165, a junior from Mobile, is suddenly a very big figure in this ball game.
Jones had only caught 22 passes. That's just over, in 10 ball games, just over 2 a game, but does have a 19-yard average because the wishbone forces the defense to crowd the line of scrimmage, opening up the passing lane.
They have now taken Ben Ross out at the tight end position, and they have put in Jay Grogan, number 27, who goes wide to the top of the picture. And it's a first down for Alabama, just over their own 45, handed off inside to the fullback, Ricky Moore. And Moore hits midfield and just nudges the ball across midfield.
Greg Carr, number 54, is just a sophomore, but the Auburn coaches say he may be the best sophomore linebacker they've ever seen. Here's a good illustration of why they say that. He takes on the block, Careback, 71, springs off the block and makes the tackle.
He's an exceptional student as well. Pretty close to straight A. Second down for Craig Turner now. Big fullback, 200-pounder or so is in there. And here's Walter Lewis again, throwing this time out of bounds. Ben Ross had come down, gone into the ball game as a wideout, and had come down to the sidelines, but Jesse was about 3 yards out of bounds.
One thing we should point out that Walter Lewis is probably the best, maybe the equal of any runner that Alabama has. He's also an outstanding passer, and when he rolls out, that puts just a terrible defensive responsibility on the defensive end and cornerback as to whether to come up or lay back.
Lewis is now 4 out of 8, 53 yards for a touchdown. Grogan comes out. Ben Ross and Jones now are your wideouts for Alabama. Craig Turner is a very strong, straight-ahead runner. Third down, 4. Lewis outside, goes to Patrick. Patrick, big game. Inside the Auburn 30, down to the Tigers 28. First down, Alabama.
Triple option, fake to the fullback. Then defensive end takes the quarterback, elects to take the quarterback, and then Patrick, number 25, gets the block from 88. Then Drost cuts back inside for the first down. I've been there, Keith, trying to defensive wishbone. When you can throw and run off the wishbone, watch out.
Ball is just inside the Auburn 29. 2 minutes to go in the first quarter. Tide leads 7-0. Lewis flips it deep. Joe Carter has the ball. Fumble. Auburn's got it. The ball popped up in the air. It's a foot race to the goal line. And Lewis is after him, and Walter Lewis makes the tackle on Tim Drinkard, saving the touchdown. The ball popped up in the air, and Tim Drinkard, the quarterback, blocked it. And away he flew for 62 yards.
Let's watch it again. Tremendous tackle by one Auburn football player. The headgear hit the ball. Drinkard, number 18, the defensive cornerback. Watch him run. He has a couple of blocks. Lewis, being 4'6" speed, finally catches him, but it's 62-yard return.
And first down, Auburn at the Alabama 14. Let's see if the Tigers can cash it in. They give it to their fullback, Greg Pratt. And Pratt is rolled back from the line of scrimmage.
Let's watch the play again. You can see that it's just a pitch back to Carter. The ball bounces right up in the air. Number 18, Drinkard, catches it and runs right down the field. Boy,
that's the whole point, too, Frank, that he caught it in the air.
In the air. Otherwise, he could not have advanced it.
Got a paper sack blown out on the field, so they have to get that out of the way. There was no gain by Pratt on the play up the middle. Auburn hasn't gained maybe a foot all day up the middle against Alabama.
In this game last year, Auburn in the first half missed 3 field goal opportunities and had a pass intercepted by Alabama on the 1-yard line.
Second down and 10 from the Tide 14. Campbell's going to throw. Goes for Wood. Too high. Incomplete. It'll be third down and 10 from the Alabama 14.
Quick out pattern this close to the goal line is seldom effective because the defense do not have to cover deep and then jump right on the wide receiver and covering very tightly, and that was the case.
They've marked that ball closer to the 13 now. So they moved it up at least a foot and a half from where they had it marked before. Auburn running about 37% on third down conversions over the season. They run a little delay to Lionel James. And touchdown. Great blocking by the Auburn offensive line. Castillo just simply couldn't hold the Auburn running back, James. Lyon was only 5'7", 170 pounds. But he's a tough little guy. Now for the extra point try. Al Del Greco, a junior from Key Biscayne, Florida, picks it up and through. With 54 seconds to play in the first quarter. We are even. Alabama 7 and now Auburn 7. As they recover the fumble in midair. Tim Drinkard runs it down to the 14, and Lionel James took it in, and here's the play.
Fake pass and run, meaning you let the lineman cross the line of scrimmage and invite him and block him outside. You see what a beautiful hole, big hole, Pat Arrington, and then a great block by someone, number 64 from Auburn, who is just a freshman, by the way, Lott. And James takes it in for the touchdown. Here from the ground level, watch the blocking. Invite number 98, Klein, to cross the line. He takes himself out of the play. That's what creates the hole. Then the leading block, 64, leading right through there, makes a key block. And James, number 6, takes him right in for the touchdown. Number 64 is Randy Stokes. But when you cross up the defense, it's risky, but it worked that time, Keith.
Del Greco will kick off for Auburn now. Joey Jones and Paul Carruth are the deep people for Alabama. So the Plainsmen get on the board with 54 seconds to play in the first quarter. Del Greco hangs it up there. And Carruth They'll come back with it a yard deep in the end zone. Oh, look at this. Fine return by Paul Carruth. He, to me, is a lot like Major Ogilvy was at Alabama. Not a whole lot of speed, not flashy. He just ran the ball north and south. That's what Carruth does. But he has a willingness that forces you to play him tough.
Every good football team has players like Carruth, what we call winners, mean they do the best they can on every play.
So that return from a yard deep in the end zone out to the 33, and Ken Coley, a senior from Birmingham, is in at quarterback now for Alabama. Coley more a runner than a thrower. But very good on the triple option. Going to put it up. Loops it downfield, and it is incomplete. Making a try for the interception for Auburn, but nothing there. It was Mark Dorminey, who has been hurt, number 46, but who is back out there now for Auburn. And it will be the Miami-Tampa Bay war on ABC's presentation of Monday Night Football next Monday, and followed on Thursday by one out on the West Coast that has a lot to it, the San Francisco 49ers and the Los Angeles Rams. Both of them at 9 Eastern Time. From the Alabama 33, second down and 10. Coley keeps it. Ken Coley has had 3 knee operations during his playing days at Alabama. But this is another one of those ball players that just won't quit. And there's a fellow right there that won't quit. Pat Dye, who is exhorting his Tigers. Coaching constantly.
As a rule, 3rd and long for Alabama is a running down. Just the opposite of what we've been watching all year with teams that stress the passing game.
3rd and 6. Coley keeps it. Got a first down. Ken Coley goes to the Auburn 49. Chuck Clinton brings him down, a junior from Pensacola.
We just witnessed the quickness of Coley, the quarterback. Keith mentioned that he is very good on option play because he is fast and quick.
And the first quarter is over at Legion Field in Birmingham with the Crimson Tide and the Tigers all even at 7. We start the second quarter. 7-7 ball game. Alabama's ball. Auburn 49. Alabama's second unit in. Along the front, it's Beasley, it's Holcomb, and McQueen, Jackson, Sissom, Ivy. So the Bear doing what he has done through all the years when he has had the depth. He plays them. And when he get down to the fourth quarter, he's got more fresh folks. Normally. There are your numbers off that first quarter of play.
See that Alabama had the upper hand in every category. Auburn was not able to do much offensively. They need to get their offense going and get some good field position.
One of the officials is having an ankle tape, so we've got a little timeout here for him.
Keith, you mentioned about Alabama playing so many players. It's quite common that they do this for a number of reasons. One is the freshness in the fourth quarter. Another is morale. It gets a lot of people to play, helps the practices during the week.
All right. We're ready to go now. Rob Allier sets the ball, and the clock starts. The first play of the second quarter. And Ken Coley is the quarterback. Maybe checking off. Long count. Rides it off to his fullback. And the fullback, Ricky Moore, is loose for a big gain. Inside the Auburn 30. Down to the Tiger 28 goes Ricky Moore. Boy, he's a big one. He stands 6 feet, but he weighs 235 pounds, and he can rumble.
He played a lot as a freshman last year. You can see the blocking of the wishbone when the outside people start thinking quarterback and pitch. The fullback opens up, and a good block by Grogan, number 27. Right there, you can see the wide receivers for Alabama and wishbone teams have to be good blockers as well as ability to catch the ball.
Carruth is now in at the halfback, the left half spot, replacing Lenny Patrick for Alabama. First down, ball just short of the Auburn 28. Coley down the line. Here's the reverse. Gendros with the ball, gets a good block, turns it back around the corner, and then pays for it at the Auburn 25. I'll tell you one fella in that Auburn secondary who is a hitter, Frank. A sophomore out of Fairhope, David King. At number 27 will lay a lick on you.
King started as a freshman. In fact, he made the starting lineup before the first game for the 81 season. He started every game since. Number 27. Good quickness, good tackle.
Second down and 7, Alabama. Auburn 25. Alabama trying to break the 7-7 tie in this possession. Get that ball off inside again to fullback Moore. And Moore's got the ball at the 22 for 3 yards. So they'll be looking at third and about 5.
Doug Smith, the left defensive tackle for Auburn, is 6'6", weighs 265. Altman, the guard, is 6'2", 263. Thomas, 6'5", 267. So that middle is, for Auburn, is very big.
Doug Vickers comes back in at the right side tackle position for Alabama now. The junior from Enterprise, Alabama. Throws the ball at the Auburn 22, third down. I call it 4. Long 4. Coley on the option, hands inside. And it's Ricky Moore again, the fullback, carrying to the 19, possibly the 18. If he's got the 18, he's got a first down.
Very, very close.
Moore now has carried 5 times in the game. And Ricky's got 39 yards. It'll be 4th down. And they need the better part of a yard. And Alabama calls timeout with 13 seconds to go in the first half. And the score tied at Legion Field in Birmingham at 7-7. Alabama owns the ball at the Auburn 19, 4th down, yard to go. They've done pretty well on 4th down conversion tries this year, 80%. And didn't do it that time. Gave the ball to Craig Turner, who has become something of a specialist for them in short yardage plays, and he just didn't make it. Number 28 came up out of the secondary, Bob Harris, the strong safety. Big, strong fella at 6'2", 205, and he just flat nailed him down right at the line of scrimmage.
Keith, that's a crucial play. When you stop a team on 4th and short yards close to your goal line, it has sweeping effects on your morale, your momentum, and the motion of your football team. Harris, number 28, strong safety. Outstanding football player. Many say he's an All-American player. Watch him make the play. He reads it quickly, and he crashes right through because there was no threat of the option as Alabama had left the wishbone, gone to the I formation.
And back to the live action as Auburn goes to Bo Jackson, and Jackson goes into the middle from the 19 to the 21 for 2 yards. Second down and 8 coming up. Pat Dye gambled on 4th down. Alabama scored from 49 yards out. Now Auburn has withstood an Alabama gamble on 4th and 1, disdaining the field goal. And here's the pitch to Lionel James. James, who scored the Auburn touchdown, gets around the corner and up to the 24. Emmanuel King in at the defensive end position now for Alabama makes the tackle. In the running department, Alabama with 112 yards in the ball game so far. Auburn with 43.
And Keith, we should make the point that Auburn has left the wishbone there in an I formation with Jackson at fullback, James at tailback, and 2 tight ends.
Having Jackson at fullback, as Pat Dye said to me yesterday, they hope they can pop the big guy through there quickly. But Alabama being so fierce in its rush, they'll sometimes overrun him. Randy Campbell, the quarterback, trying to option it around the corner, calling his own number, and he comes up short by 1.5 yards as King and Wood make the tackle.
In trying to defense the wishbone, about all you can do is hope you get them by 4th and 1 yard or 2. They move the ball forward so effectively with the power of the running backs and the blocking of the line.
Lewis Colbert into punt. 2 punts so far today of 30 and 44 yards. DeRuth is deep for Alabama.
Third time it appears that Alabama's going to try to block it.
He gets it off, and it's a dandy. Ooh, that's a good kick. DeRuth all the way back to his 16 and down at the 20. 57-yard punt, and obviously that's the way the wind was swirling that time.
Certainly Auburn needed a great punt. Coaches realized that the kicking game can flip the field over and establish field position for you, where Alabama is now handling the ball deep on their end field.
U.S.-Cuba, amateur boxing. Boy, that's always a good one. We have a little trouble with the Cubans in the non-Olympic years, but it's still a matter of growth for our young people, and we're beginning to assemble now some outstanding young amateur boxers. USA-Cuba coming up right after the ball game.
Keith, those amateur boxing matches are really fun to watch. A lot of spirit, a lot of enthusiasm.
Walter Lewis, the Alabama quarterback now, and time is called by Alabama with 11 minutes and 21 seconds to play in the first half. They have one timeout remaining as Lewis comes to the sideline. Lewis Colbert nailed a 57-yarder. That equals his longest punt of his career so far at Auburn. Right now, Alabama's got to go to work, and they've marked them down at their own 19. Walter Lewis back in his quarterback, and he's going to throw it. And he comes over the middle with it to Bendross. And Bendross is out to the 37 for a first down. Dennis Collier hit him hard, but Big Jesse just tucked it away.
Hayden Fry at SMU is the first coach that used two wideouts in the wishbone attack. It spreads the defense. You see what happens when you get speed at those wideouts, and Bendross, number 88. Look how wide open he is across the middle. Lewis lays it right in for the completion.
Number 24 is in the Alabama backfield now, Mickey Ginyard. Ball Bryant continuing to shuffle his players in. They move it from near the 37. Lewis, the quarterback, keeps it, turns it inside, and he runs into the 43, Quincy Williams, a junior from Douglasville, Georgia, makes the stop on him.
With two split receivers and a full house backfield in the wishbone, I should make the point that you lose a little bit of your running strength right up the middle. You don't have that tight end to block you. If we look at the pass rush so far, Alabama is just really, really putting it on them, but Auburn had one big play, the recovered fumble in the air.
Second down, 4. Near the 43. Lewis back to throw. He's got Patrick to the left. He goes for Bendross. Jesse's open and got it. And first down, Alabama at the Auburn 26. Dennis Collier, free safety, having trouble staying with Bendross.
Acres and acres of open field when you see a team has to stop the run and then cover the receiver. Watch Bendross. You don't see anybody in the picture. He is wide open until finally the safety man. Look how wide open he is. The safety man, Collier, has to come from over the football and try to cover him, an impossibility.
Jesse comes limping off the field now. Lewis passing 6 out of 10, 102 yards. Bendross comes off the field limping. From the Auburn 26, first down, Alabama. Lewis. And Lewis, the fullback, inside Craig Turner. And Turner takes just over the 20.
Greg Card, number 54, as we've already said previously, is an outstanding linebacker. He can run to the right and left as good linebackers, but when the play is up the middle, he's got to take on the player. The blocker many times, as he does right there, he gets under the shoulder pad. Good linebacker, and then comes off and makes the play. That's an outstanding defensive play.
Pitch it wide to Patrick. And Patrick is spun down behind the line of scrimmage, and number 28, Bob Harris, the strong safety, penetrated to make the play. Bobby was playing almost a defensive end position once the play broke.
Strong safeties can be a key personnel on your defense because they are a combination linebacker, end, and cornerback. On that occasion, he just penetrated immediately. It wouldn't be blocked.
The loss is back to the 22. Darrell White now comes in at a wideout position for Alabama. Walter Lewis having a big first half. Now totaling over 100 yards. Third down and 7. And they hand it inside, and there's nothing there for Patrick. Number 63 was the man that made the first contact with him, playing middle guard. James Wallace, a 6-footer, sophomore from Gadsden, Alabama. He weighs 260 pounds.
Alabama gambled on the draw play on 3rd and long. Auburn was ready for it, forcing a attempted field goal.
Peter Peter Kim will try the field goal from 37 yards, and from that distance, he is 4 out of 5 in 1982. It's up, plenty of leg on it, and it's good. 8 minutes and 31 seconds to play in the first half. And Peter Kim gives Alabama the lead over Auburn 10-7. The Goodyear Blimp America bringing you that picture as Terry Sanders has the ball on the tee for Alabama and will kick it off. He's going to go into the wind. Lionel James drifting across, yard deep in the end zone, is coming out. And tries to break it to the sidelines and just could not get there. Stan Gay, the first man to hit him for Alabama. Jesse Bendross with ice on the knee. He came hoppling off the field, but the report is that Jesse will be able to play more today. The ball is at the 18.
As we look at Bendross' numbers for the season, you notice 21-yard average per reception, which is not unusual if you have a wishbone running attack to help you.
Auburn's running attack has been virtually nil so far today. Alabama leading now 10-7. Campbell gives it inside. 2 yards to Bo Jackson. I think we make it 3. They're giving him 21.
Keith, we should make the point that Jackson has never played fullback before. Auburn had an off week to practice this, but it's hard for a freshman to come in and play a new position in 2 weeks' time and perform against a team as good as Alabama.
First time Auburn has shown the I formation this season. And they were hoping to be able to pop Jackson out of the I and get some yardage out of it. So far it hasn't worked. As Campbell going wide to Lionel James, he gets just not enough people out there to help him around the corner. Alabama's defensive flow is outstanding. Mike Pitts, the defensive end, strung it out and stood his ground.
Well, Pitts weighs 255 pounds, stands 6'4", all Southeastern Conference. Really one of the finest defensive ends in the Southeastern Conference, if not America. As we look at the Bear, and don't think he's not coaching and getting involved. He does. He may talk that he doesn't. He may give you that impression. He's still running the show.
From the 23, third down, 5 for Auburn. Alabama now totaling 228 yards on offense. And Auburn 67 prior to that play, which is good to the 29 and close to a first down with Bo Jackson carrying. There's the difference so far in this ball game offensively.
Alabama's been able to throw the football. Auburn coaches told me as we watched the measurement that they didn't think they could win the game if they didn't hit some passes. Key situations, they've been unsuccessful so far.
He got it by the nose of the ball.
Now Auburn is lining up in 2 tight ends, I formation, 1 split receiver, which is really a goal line attack. Not much threat of a big run there, a big play, unless James can pop it on his own natural ability. That's trying to get 1 wide receiver out of the ball game. We've got 2 tight ends, and he had Edwards and Woods both in the ball game of 12 players.
Now get back to the legal limit. First down for Auburn. And blindsided. Campbell is hit by John Elias, the nose guard. And then making a flying effort to grab that ball was Russ Wood. But Russ couldn't quite get it.
You're going to see Campbell throw the ball right to Woods, the tight end. I mean, the defensive end, excuse me. Mike Woods right here is going to throw the ball out to James, but Woods comes in front and nearly intercepted, which could have been a touchdown. The ball was thrown too hard for him to handle.
240-pounder climbing on your back, though, it doesn't help your accuracy much, does it?
Right off of his blind side, quarterback's blind side.
Second down and 10, just outside the 28. Ride it off to the inside. And carrying is Ron O'Neal. Ron O'Neal, 5'9", 245, but he can't produce much. He gets it up to the 30.
They make 1 yard.
So it'll be third down and about 8.
What Alabama's doing on defense is electing to make Campbell keep the ball on the option play and not let him pitch.
We'll have a report on last night's Larry Holmes' successful defense of his heavyweight title against Randy Cobb. One of the features today on ABC's Wide World of Sports will be Teo Stevenson and Tyrone Biggs, amateur heavyweights. Teo, of course, the three-time gold medalist from the Olympics in Cuba. They swing it over to Lionel James, get him out there one-on-one, and it doesn't do much good because Robbie Jones, number 97, a senior from Demopolis, Alabama, just looked him right in the eye and took him down. It'll be fourth down.
Jones making the tackle.
Auburn unable to get much going offensively so far in the ball game. It'll be the fourth punt of the day for Lewis Colbert. His last one was a beauty, 57 yards, and Paul Carruth is deep for Alabama.
See the fullback calling the blocking assignments after he reads the alignment.
Well, they got some pressure on him, but again, Colbert hits a good high-hanging punt. Not as long as the other one, but it's a very effective punt, forcing the fair catch for Alabama back at the 27, a 44-yarder.
You can see that Alabama is coming right through. They has one, he must be a three-step kicker, very slow. 1, 2, that's his second step. Third step, Alabama gets very close to this. You can see the...
That's Rodriguez, Mike Rodriguez.
His hands, if he'd extended them, he might have been able to deflect the ball.
So it's Alabama's ball. First down at their own 27. Tide leading the Tigers 10-7. 5:12 to play in the first half. And Walter Lewis fumbles the ball. It is picked up by the trailing back, Jeff Fagan. And a loss on the play back to about the 22. The comparison of quarterbacks in this ball game, and you see here Todd Blackledge yesterday threw 24 times, hit 10 for a touchdown, and he has 22 for the season as Penn State won the big ball game against Pitt, and Nebraska beat Oklahoma in another good one. Penn State going to the Sugar Bowl to take on the Georgia Bulldogs. Georgia scuffling this afternoon with Georgia Tech between the hedges and Athens. Other scores from yesterday's ball games there. Red Raiders of Colgate had a pretty good season. It is second down and 15. From the 22, pressure's on. Lewis throws a dime trail out there, and it's picked off by Bob Harris. He was getting pressure from the blind side, and his arm must have been hit because that ball just came fluttering out there like an old lame-legged turkey. And Bob Harris stepped right in there and picked it off.
The backside rush is what really worries the quarterback and the coaches. He cannot see it. You're going to see coming back there, who is that, number 99?
99.
Smith. And he gets his arm and watch the ball. It just flutters up like a wounded duck. And it comes right down into the hands of Harris from Decatur, Georgia, my old hometown, and that's Harris's fourth interception of the season. Number 28, Harris, the strong safety, you can see, reads the ball, goes up in front of the receiver, Fagan, and intercepts the pass.
So it's a big chance for Auburn now from the Alabama 25, and Campbell goes with it, and he almost throws an interception. My goodness, he threw the ball right straight toward Jeremiah Castile, and Castile could not pull it down. The Auburn defense has set up the offense now. Remember, it was Tim Drinkard who picked that loose fumble out of the air and ran 62 yards. That set up the 14-yard play for the touchdown. And now here is Bob Harris, who's made another big defensive play for the Tigers. He go to your old high school?
He went to my old high school, Decatur, Georgia. You never know I'm from Georgia, would you? Second down and 10.
And Campbell wants to throw again. Goes over the middle, has a man, Edwards. And Mike Edwards falls it down at the Alabama 11. First down for Auburn.
Play action pass. Handcuffs the linebackers. Edwards is going to drift across the middle. The ball is thrown right in the numbers, the best place to throw it when you're going across that middle. Edwards has played halfback, fullback, tight end, wide receiver. Just a very versatile player. He's wide open. Linebackers handcuffed to the face.
They mark it inside the 10. So we're going to have to call it 9 yards away. First and goal from the 9. Actually about 9.5. And Lionel James a hole. And James almost loses the ball as he is hit. But he has enough of a handle to take it down at the 4. Jeremiah Castile, left side quarterback, hit him hard. That's a big pickup on 1st and goal. They got a little more than 5 yards on it.
Good blocking by Jackson, the right halfback, the freshman, and also the fullback, Neal, clearing the path.
Alabama leading 10-7 with 3:15 to go in the first half. And Auburn trying to regain, trying to take the lead for the first time. 2nd down and goal inside the 5, handed off up the middle of the fullback, and he surges down to about the 2. So it'll be 3rd and goal from the Alabama 2. They want a timeout to call, it appears. And they take it. So you've got 3 minutes and 1 second to play in the first half. 10-7 Alabama lead, but Auburn is knocking on the door. Clouds continue gray, kind of heavy, but no rain so far today. Now here comes Auburn on 3rd down and 2. Tommy Wilcox is on the field and has been out there in the Alabama secondary, in case you were curious about it. The All-American. They're going to go out of the wishbone, and Campbell down the line, turns it, keeps it to the goal line, touchdown. Wood, defensive end for Alabama, had a hold of Campbell, but Randy just hung in there. When he turned back to his right, he was able to fall across the goal line, and Auburn has taken the lead. Now going for the extra point, Greco. Mike Mann holds it. Now Del Greco hits it. Good. 2 minutes 55 to go in the first half. 14-10 Auburn.
Number 74, watch number 74, the pulling guard. He gets right in the way of Campbell. Number 74, as he turns up, he actually blocks Campbell first right there. He nearly tackles him. Now Campbell twists and turns and gets across the goal line for the touchdown. Extra effort by Campbell, resulting in a touchdown.
Right now, let's check in with Jim Lampley, see what's going on in Athens.
As you know, Herschel Walker needs 181 yards today to move past Archie Griffin and become the number 3 all-time rusher. He just got 59 of them on this early first-quarter touchdown run against Georgia Tech. It is the Bulldogs 7, the Engineers nothing in Athens. Heath Jackson.
Okay, Jimmy. Thanks very much. That means the Georgia Bulldogs getting out to the lead, trying to stay number 1 in the nation. And we could have ourselves a party New Year's night at the Sugar Bowl in New Orleans, couldn't we? With number 1 Georgia and Penn State national championship ball game. Here's Del Greco's kickoff. And it's gone. It'll be Alabama's ball, first down at the 20. Well, it's the Auburn defense that has presented the opportunities for the Auburn offense.
As we look at the numbers, that's what Pat Dye, that's how he started the season. He felt his defense was good. His offense was just young and inexperienced, and a good kicking game. Let the defense get the field position for you, and that's what's happening.
Ken Coley, the Alabama quarterback for this series now. First down, Alabama at the 20. Auburn leading 14-10. And the ball is given to the fullback, and Ricky Moore is up to about the 23.
Alabama has lost 22 fumbles and had 10 passes intercepted, 32 over 3 a ball game, and that's far more than Bear Bryant's teams usually give it away.
Jesse Bendros is back in, having had some ice on his knee. Larry Brown comes to the bottom of the picture as a wide man for the Tide. On second down, 7. Coley rides it, throws it out, keeps it, and turns it upfield, and takes a whack. Christopher Martin, weak side linebacker, brought him down. But even when Coley, as quick as he is, when you get a good hit on Coley, he still has the faculty for spinning his way upfield and getting some yardage out of it.
That's the mark of a good wishbone quarterback. Sort of walk through the yards. When he cuts up, make people miss him, override him, but be sure and fall forward. helping that yardage be short for third down.
Third down and 2. Coley's carried 3 times, 22 yards. So it's third and short. Auburn with a 5-man front. And Coley's got it. And he's got the first down as he hits it out to the 32.
Should make note that Auburn has changed drastically their defense in the last 2 possessions. They're playing double covering both receivers and having a free safety to help out. A radical change. That particular defense would require Alabama to mostly run the football. They're vulnerable running, not passing, with double coverage and 3 deep secondary.
First and 10. Alabama's 32. Oh, fullback popped it over the right side that time, found some daylight. And Big Ricky Moore moves that ball for just about 7 yards.
But, Keith, Alabama cannot keep running the football. We're coming on 1:20 seconds left as we see the clock. They have got to start throwing the ball. Cooley is not their best passer, and yet he's still in the ball game. A little bit of a surprise to me.
Jones comes out now. Moore with 7 carries in the game for 48 yards. Bendross and Brown are the wide people. Coley keeps it and gets it up to the 42. Now you've got about 45 seconds to go in the first half. Alabama has only 1 timeout remaining in the first half. They're looking to see whether or not he's got his first down. He got it out close to the 42.
Keith, you would think that Bear would want Lewis in the ball game. He's had a hot hand passing. Bendross and Jones have not been covered. I don't think any time in the first half they have had some drop passes, but seldom has Auburn been effective with their pass defense. There's still plenty of time to score, or at least get a field goal.
Looks like it's just short. Just short.
That certainly hurts Alabama's chances of scoring because they've got to waste time on the clock to make the first down when they should be throwing the ball.
Third down and a half foot. They're up there as soon as the clock starts. They're ready to snap it. Coley follows the center Mott and appears to have the first down. Mott came off that snap pretty quick. He's good center.
He was second team all Southeastern Conference, and the center is the key and the wishbone to establish the fullback block. The play, he has to block that nose guard single-handedly on most plays. If he's good at it, you can make yardage up the middle.
Lewis had a pretty good first half, but he's on the bench now. Coley, clock running at 35 seconds, is the quarterback. Ken Coley, double wide, going to throw. He's got Jones over the sidelines and throws it short.
Coley is not known for a passer. So far this year, he's 4 completions out of 7 attempts, where Lewis, the great passer, his best passer, had attempted 134 passes, 63% of his passes. Coley is none for 2. Coley is none for 2, where Lewis has completed 63% of his passes coming into this ball game. He's got his reasons, but
gave him this center. He's going to let him play it. Auburn leading 14-10. 25 seconds to go, and Coley back to throw on 2nd and 10. Again goes that same pattern a moment ago, except this time it's Darrell White in at the split-end position, and the senior out of Tuscaloosa makes the grab. And it's a first down for Alabama at the Auburn 39. Alabama with 1 timeout remaining and 19 seconds to go in the first half.
On this particular pattern, King, number 27, is giving him plenty of room as the clock is winding down. If they're going to complete it in front of the defensive quarterback.
Alabama has spent its last timeout. So while we're waiting for play to resume, let's take a look at the Auburn campus. Alabama owns the football, first down at the Auburn 39 with the running quarterback Ken Coley in the ball game, and he just completed a pass to Darrell White for the first down. 14-10 Auburn lead. Ken Vendross is wide to the top of the picture. Coley almost falls down coming off the snap. He's in some pressure now, and he's got to run it. And he hits the chalk back up around the 40, just outside the 40. Well, he's out of bounds, and he's going to lose about 1.5 yards or 2. The man that was making life miserable for him is big 99 Doug Smith and 98 Gerald Williams, a pair of defensive tackles, Williams being a freshman. Glory be, Frank, you ever see some mini big freshmen? 6'4", 269, that one. That's your halftime coming up. Very interesting report relative to black coaches in college football. Walter Lewis now is in at quarterback. 12 seconds to play in the first half. Second down and 12. And Lewis straight back. He's very quick. Oh, he's got Vendross in the end zone wide open. He hits right on the sidelines and gets the first down. He didn't see Vendross. Vendross was all by himself hollering, "Ooh, look at me!" And he never saw it.
Here's Vendross. You can see he's going to cross and go out to the right. And when Lewis scrambles to the left with his quickness, number 47, King, runs all the way across the field. Number 27, I don't know why he did this. Look how wide open he is for a touchdown, but he couldn't get the ball back to him, or he didn't see it.
White was shaken up on his catch. Darrell White getting the first down for Alabama at the Auburn 15.
White's just going to get over close to the boundary. If he catches the ball, he wants to get out of bounds. Stop the clock as quick as you can. Get out of bounds. Now Alabama has a field goal opportunity.
White coming off the field, and a 33-yard kick coming up by Peter Kim with 2 kicks remaining on the clock in the first half. The holder is quarterback Paul Field. Snap is good, hold is good, kick by Kim is good. So time runs out in the first half as Alabama gets a 33-yard field goal, the second by 10 today, but Auburn leads at halftime by 14-13. Now here is Ann Simon with Coach Pat Dye.
Thanks, Keith. Coach, historically, both teams have run under the wishbone, yet today you elected to go with the I formation. How come?
Well, we really wanted to be able to get Jackson and James into our option game at the same time, but nothing we've done has worked very good. We've been lucky the defense has given us two breaks, and we've gotten 2 touchdowns out of it, but outside of that, our offense has been very poor. And defensively, we haven't really stopped them. They've had a long way to go. Our kicking game has kind of kept them backed up a little bit, and they've stopped themselves some, but we've got to play much better the second half to have a chance to win the football game.
Of course, this game is extremely important for recruiting purposes. I know that your idea must be to build this team from the ground up.
Well, you know, I don't know how important it is for recruiting. I think if you know, if we had been at Auburn for 10 years and we're getting beat every year, I think it would this game would mean a great deal as far as recruiting is concerned. But I doubt if very many youngsters are going to decide whether they come into Auburn or going to Alabama based on the results of today's game.
It's no secret by now that it's not been since 1970 that an assistant coach, a former assistant coach of Bear Bryant, has beaten him. Scare you a little?
Well, you know, I'll tell you what, in the time that he's been at Alabama, it hadn't been the time that anybody has beaten him very often. And it's just happened that, you know, we've been involved in playing him a little too.
All right, Coach, thanks
you
very much. Now back upstairs to Keith Jackson.
Our halftime score, Auburn 14, Alabama 13. Back with the halftime activities after this message about an upcoming show on ABC and the word from our local station.
Sunday, tallest man and woman on Ripley's Believe It or Not.
We're at halftime at Legion Field in Birmingham, Alabama. Auburn leading Alabama 14-13. Here is Ann Simon with Coach Paul Bryant.
Of course, this man needs no introduction. Coach Paul Bear Bryant. Both Keith Jackson and Frank Royals were wondering during the broadcast why you elected to go with Ken Coley at quarterback instead of Walter Lewis.
Trying to win the game. Everything I do is trying to win the game.
No reason for it, just for that.
I'm trying to win the game.
Now, what about
I don't have to apologize for who I play. I'm trying to win the game.
what about the turnover situation? There was a turnover
Two
there.
turnovers
Really
caused us 2 touchdowns.
and what you elect to do in the second half that may change that? You're having problems with turnovers all year long.
Well, we sure have, and we're going to try to not turn over this time. We're going to try to receive the football, take it for a touchdown.
All right, Coach, thank you. Of course, Paul Bear Bryant is a man of very few words, but when you're in his shoes, our actions speak louder than words, I think. Keith?
All right, we'll see what happens in this second half of play with Auburn leading by a score of 14-13. And let's take a look now at some of the highlights out of the first half as Walter Lewis goes over the middle, 22 yards to Joey Jones for the touchdown. A marvelous catch and presence by Jones as he just touches the left foot down for the score. All he needs is one, and he got it down right there. Now, it is the Auburn defense that has provided the opportunity for the Tigers. The fumble recovery, it pops up in the air here. Ball is pitched out to Joe Carter. Now, Carter gets hit. Ball pops out. Tim Drinkard will pick it up and run 62 yards with it. He almost scored, Frank. Would have if Walter Lewis hadn't run him down.
I was wondering who made the tackle, but it was Darmany, the safety man, who's been an outstanding player. He pops the ball out, and Drinkard, number 18, picks it up, and Lewis shows his speed, the quarterback of Alabama, as he catches Drinkard and knocks him out of bounds after a 62-yard return.
Now, from the 14, third down and 10 for Auburn. Lionel James, one of the smallest running backs on either ball club, fields it around the right side. The Auburn offensive front does a great job of blocking, and little Lionel takes it in.
A freshman, Stokes, starting his first ball game at left guard, pulled around and made the key block.
And then Auburn's second touchdown came on a 2-yard run by Randy Campbell after Bob Harris had intercepted on the Alabama 25. We start the second half, a bouncing kickoff to Paul Carruth. Carruth looking for the sidelines, gets out there and turns it upfield for a good gain. As Alabama will start first down at its 33. That was a 30-yard return by Carruth. Alabama opens, we presume, with Lewis, Fagan, Carruth, Moore, Jones. Though Coach Bryant has played a lot of people in that first half. The offensive front will be Bendross, Vickers, Bramblett, Mott Adcock, Tyvek. And it is Walter Lewis at quarterback, with Bendross coming to the bottom of the picture. Lewis, 7 out of 12 for 128 yards and a touchdown. He's run 7 times and picked up 19 yards on the ground. And Lewis coming to the open side of the field, hums it. He had something on the pass, rolling to his left. He can drill it, and he nails Bendross on the numbers for a first down up at the 46.
Remember that Alabama's quarterback is just as good a runner as he is passer. That really forces the cornerback to come up, opening up the crease right to Jones, and he puts the ball right on the numbers.
And a first down for the Tide at their own 46, just starting the second half of play. Auburn 14, Alabama 13. Auburn showing a 4-man front. 3 linebackers are in tight. They're going to reverse it, give that ball, back it goes, and it's a delayed version of the old flea flicker. Now that turns into a screen. And carrying the ball, Ricky Moore. And we've got an Auburn man hurt on the play. An Auburn man is down on the field. Scott Riley, a defensive end, 204-pounder from Birmingham. Ben Thomas, big tackle for Auburn, 267. Dow Aukman, the middle guard, 263. Doug Smith, right tackle, 265. And Quincy Williams, the end, 218. Linebackers, Greg Carr, sophomore at 213. And Christopher Martin, 232 pounds. Auburn man leaving the field is number 28, Bob Harris. Harris was coming after Walter Lewis on a slowed down version of the old flea flicker play. It started out as a big wide reverse and then back to Lewis, and then eventually turned into something of a screen play to the fullback, Ricky Moore, and it was good for 2 yards. Lewis straight back on second down and 8. Loops it out here to Moore again. The man in front missed his block, and Moore outruns the pursuit and goes for another Alabama first down. So they're getting the Auburn defense spread out, Frank, and they're making it work.
Here are the stats for the first half. Alabama dominating in every category except the 2 turnovers that were very costly. When you're in Auburn's position, your coach has to try to analyze what's wrong with our offense. Is it the fact that we're calling the wrong plays or getting whipped? to me, they were just getting whipped in the offensive line by the Alabama defense. That's a major problem.
Ball just short of the Auburn 41. First down for the Tide. Alabama trying to get it going early here. Give that ball to Turner. And Craig Turner veers off to the right side, turns it back upfield, moves it to the 36 of Auburn. Doug Smith brought him down. He's a big junior from Bayboro, North Carolina.
Today's attendance, Keith, Legion Field, 76,300.
Wall-to-wall sellout. Why wouldn't it be?
Split right down the middle, half to Auburn, half to Alabama in the tickets.
Second down and 5, Tide. Lewis, he's got Vendross over there to first down. And Jesse is dragged down by David King, number 27 for Auburn. And will advance the ball to the Auburn 25. And a first down.
It's a check-off play, Keith. You can see that Vendross was singly covered, no one around him. The defensive back King was off of him a good 10 yards, giving him plenty of time to catch the ball, and actually King makes a great play to stop him from advancing after the catch.
Bob Harris, who was shaken up, walked off the field. Apparently no serious injury, just shaken up. Lewis is 4 for 4 in this possession for Alabama. Gives that ball off to the fullback Moore, and Ricky Moore is inside the 20, bounced down at the 18. So the Alabama offense looks pretty determined to start this second half.
What Alabama is doing is really giving Auburn defense adjustment problems with the two split ends. They're trying to cover the passes, and they're trying to defend the run, and Alabama quarterback Lewis is just changing the play at the line to hit the weakness.
Give Moore 7 on the carry, second down, 3. There goes the big guy up the middle again. He's inside the 10. He's down to the 8. Christopher Martin brought him down, and it's first and goal to go, Alabama.
Excellent block on the left side. You can see that the nose man, the center, Mott, picks up the off linebacker. The nose man was over him, but he just reaches out and picks up the linebacker who was keying on the fullback, and he couldn't make the tackle.
Ricky Moore now 9 carries and 65 yards. Lewis outside, Caruth. Touchdown.
Play. Ian elects to take the quarterback, Caruth, 16. Good block from Jones. As I said earlier, here's Jones to block. Watch Jones. He's not very big, but he has to block on the goal line. The cornerback out. He makes the contact and allows Caruth to go in for the touchdown. 8 plays for 66 yards.
Alabama's going for 2. Lewis throws it over the middle. He was under pressure, tried to hit Paul Caruth over the middle. Paul coming back to the ball, but he seemed to lose his balance a little bit and couldn't come back quite far enough. And as he fell, the ball came loose. So the try for 2 failed. 12:22 third quarter, Alabama 19, Auburn 14. In the Iron Bowl of '82 between Auburn and Alabama at Legion Field in Birmingham. Goodyear North America giving you that picture as you look on down into the stadium, and Alabama's going to kick it off after regaining the lead from Auburn. They took the opening kickoff of the second half and just stuck it in the end zone. Good, quick, crisp march by Alabama. Auburn cannot return that kick as it goes on through the end zone, and they'll start out at their 20. For Alabama defensively, it's Russ Wood, 218-pound end. Randy Edwards weighs in at 255 tackle. Mike Rodriguez, 250 nose guard. Jackie Klein, 274. And Mike Pitts, the other defensive end, 255. The linebacker, Steve Booker, 212. And Eddie Lowe at 190. And here's Auburn now. Let's see if Auburn decides to get the ball in the air a little more off first to second down. Well, they give that ball up the middle to Bo Jackson, and Jackson breaks it pretty well. Runs it over the left side behind Reeves and Jordan and Wallace, and he is very close to a first down. The offensive unit for Auburn: Campbell, the quarterback, James, Jackson, the running backs, with Juan O'Neill, the fullback, and Mike Edwards, the split end. Just short of the 30. Second down. Be a pretty good time here, perhaps, to put it up. They've got Chris Woods coming wide to the right side. Big guys who are up front are the same that started the game. They're going to stay on the ground. Give it to Lionel James. And he high steps over the left side for a first down out at the 39.
Auburn has made some changes. They've gone back to the I formation so that they can get the ball wide to James, number 6, who is the great threat. Open field runner, makes a nice cut back inside for a big gain in the first down. In the I formation, 2 tight ends.
Ball is just short of the 40, where it's a first down for the white-shirted Auburn Tigers. Campbell pulled it out of the fullback's belly and gives it outside to Lionel James, and a great job by Jeremiah Castile. Castile just would not yield on it, and the left cornerback for Alabama just kept dragging it out there, and finally Tommy Wilcox and Eddie Lowe arrived, and they stopped him. Coming up next Saturday on ABC's presentation of college football, we'll have Arkansas and Texas. The Sanglier against the Longhorns.
You're going to have to explain that, Keith. The Razorback.
Wild Boars from Arkansas. Give him a yard on the carry. Second down and 9. Just over the 40. Campbell falls down coming off the snap. Got his legs tangled up. Big 96 Randy Edwards made very quick penetration, and in the collision looked like either Edwards had him by the foot or else he just got tangled up.
Now we have 3rd and long for Auburn. Remember, Auburn is basically a wishbone offense, not a good passing team on long yardage, primarily throwing on first down or running situations during the season. There we see the first down comparison.
Auburn offense has been relatively inept in the face of the Alabama defense so far. They go wide to Lionel James. He's trying to get around the corner, but once again, the red shirts are all over the place. Stan Gay, number 28, and Steve Booker, number 49. And so Auburn's going to have to kick it away on 4th down. And Lewis Colbert will be in to punt for the 5th time in a ball game. His first one was rather weak at 30, but since then he's gone 44, 57, and 44.
He's kicking into the wind as he did in the first quarter.
And Alabama's got a 10-man front up there.
They've tried to block each of the kicks so far. Fullback calling the blocking. Look at the fullback moving around trying to call the blocking.
He gets it out of there. And Caruth lets it bounce. And then hangs his head. He should have run that thing down and kicked it out of bounds, anything, because he was up around the 20-25. But now after the roll, it rolls dead back on the Alabama 6. And Lewis Colbert gets a 55-yard punt out of it with 9:46 to go in the 3rd quarter, and the Tide leading by 5. Now Alabama's backed up at their 6. They play on the rug, artificial surface here at Legion Field, and when the ball hits the ground, it tends to bounce, bounce, bounce.
Don't be surprised if Alabama throws in this situation.
Well, they go to the fullback on the first play, and Ricky Moore is across the 10, out too close to the 12, Mark Dorminey, coming up out of the secondary to make the stop on him. So the big guy gets 6 yards on the first carry. Joe Carter comes on the field now for Alabama to go in the backfield. He replaces Jeff Fagan at the halfback spot. Bendross and Jones with a wideout. Lewis rolls it. Throws for Jones. Joe has got it. Gets in the open. Oh, my goodness. And before he can really get his motor running, Greg Carr catches him from behind, but it's a first down and a big play.
I don't know when I've seen a more effective combination of Lewis rolling out and Jones getting open, and Lewis getting the ball there with perfect timing. Great throw and outstanding catch. Watch Jones make the defense think deep. Boom, push him deep right there. Now that gets him open. The ball is right there. Missed tackle by King. Finally, Carr pulls him down.
And first down, Alabama at the 39. Now they've got some daylight behind them. Leading by 5, 19-14. They try the middle again with the fullback Moore. And the White Shirts bury him at the line of scrimmage. And we check in with Jim Lampley in New York.
Here in New York, we're keeping a close watch on the game in Athens, where Georgia Tech is keeping a tight leash on Georgia. Despite 3 turnovers, the Engineers trail only 7-0. Georgia has turned the ball over only once. Walker 9 carries for 80 yards. We'll stay abreast of it as the game goes on. Now back to Keith Jackson.
All right, Jimmy. I didn't think Georgia was going to run Tech out of town.
Tech
is pretty strong.
They've been getting stronger as the season went along.
Second down and 9, Alabama from their own 40. Lewis straight back. Swings it out to Moore, and that fullback screen. And big guy has good balance. He is caught from behind by Christopher Martin and hit, but after being hit, Moore rumbles right along for 3 more yards. He's just short of the first down.
Alabama offense has been effective when they could hold on to the football all season long. In talking to Mal Moore, the offensive coordinator, he told me that we've just self-destruct. In the ball games we lost, we just couldn't move the ball except LSU, and the LSU line whipped them, Keith, up front. First time in a long, long time that that's happened.
Third down, 1.5 yards. Lewis follows the fullback. I tell you, Walter took a pretty good crack from Christopher Martin once he got past the line of scrimmage, and he was whacked back. Jeff Jackson got a piece of him too, but he's close to his first down. That kind of a play, it happened so bang bang. The linesman really had to jump in the middle of him to get the proper mark, and now Lewis hobbles off the field. Walter getting up slowly and comes to the sideline. He's going to stay.
When we look at Alabama, they've averaged close to 6 yards on first down during the ball game, where Auburn has only averaged 2 yards on first down. Big difference.
Fourth down, and Lewis is back in punt formation. Now he comes up and shifts back into the wishbone as if they're going to go for it.
They're going to shift out of it again and got him.
They got him.
I've seen that many, many times.
That's a first down for Alabama. Now, Auburn's going to argue procedure against the Tide, and we'll just wait and see.
Well, I think the quarterback was illegal because he did not stay still 1 second before he moved out of there. There are a lot of coaches that would not do that. They would not want the first down in that way.
Well, that's what they called it against Auburn.
Let's watch it again. Lewis is going to run up. He has to stay still for 1 second. 1,001. Yes, he does. 1,001. Now it's legal. Now when he shifts again,
Auburn, encroachment, defense, first down.
Boy, I tell you, that's tough to stay in there and keep your head still, isn't it? He did that on Penn State last year and up in Happy Valley on the first possession.
Take it in the middle.
4 left guard.
And short gain out of it. Let's again check with Jim Lampley.
Now affairs have tightened up even more in Athens, where this 47-yard field goal by Ron Rice, with less than 2 minutes remaining in the first half, has narrowed the Georgia lead over Georgia Tech to 7-3. Keith?
Okay, Jim. Georgia top ranked, trying to hang on.
Did he say that was the second quarter or third quarter? Second quarter.
Second down and about 8 for Alabama on the Auburn side of the field, and Ken Coley is in at quarterback, and he's loose. And Kenny dives past the marker for a first down at the Auburn 35.
What Alabama is doing with their offense is just sensational. They're moving their line around, moving their formation, rolling out left, right, play-action passes on first down over half of the time. Auburn has never been able to set their defense. Now that Alabama's 405 yards in total offense as to 117 for Auburn. Auburn's defense is the only thing in kicking game that's keeping them in the ball game.
They mark Coley down at the 36 for the first down. Gives it off to the first man, the fullback, and he's dropped at the 35, Ricky Moore. It does not look like a football team that has lost 3 games.
Self-destruct. 32 turnovers for Alabama in 10 ball games. 22 fumbles, 10 interceptions. As we look at Pat Dye, who is very worried right now, his defense has not been able to really do anything to stop the Alabama offense.
Second down and 9, tied. All at the Auburn 35. Coley on the option, going the other way. Look at that. You don't think he isn't quick? He doesn't have a sense of where the pressure is. That's another first down for Alabama.
Coley has had 3 knee operations. Number 11, the quarterback. The play is to go to the left. It's an option play. Auburn has its defense perfectly, but watch the presence of mind, as Keith said. And another thing that we should mention, the Alabama offense has played most of the ball game, and the Auburn defense must be getting tired, and Coley makes a fine play for the first down.
9 carries, 53 yards for Ken. First down, Alabama. Ball at the Auburn 20. Big guy, Moore, the fullback, to about the 17.
Alabama's strategies, we look at Paul Bear Bryant and Pat Dye, the 2 coaches. Pat coached for Bear for about 10 years here at Alabama before he left and went to East Carolina, Wyoming, and back to Auburn, to the state of Alabama and to Auburn.
Moore now is rolling along. Ricky's got 78 yards on 14 carries. Big day for him. Big day offensively for Alabama. Second down, 7. They ran out for 25 seconds. That's going to cost him 5 yards.
Still be second down.
Coley was checking off, looking to change his play, and
well, Keith, when you line up in the wishbone with 2 wide receivers, 1 on each side, you have to use the audibles to take advantage of the weakness of the defense.
Delay. Offense, 25-second infraction. Second down.
What Alabama is doing, if they single cover the receivers, they pass. If they double cover, they run the football. It's very simple, but stopping it is very difficult.
Second down and 12. The ball comes back out to the 22. Coley gives it to the halfback, and Joe Carter takes it down to the 10.
From the end zone, watch the beautiful blocking. Auburn has spread their defense to cover the receivers. Trap block. Moore, the fullback, makes the block, but Joe Carter really breaks around and makes a fine play, but the key block was Gary Framlin, the offensive guard, number 68.
Ball is right on the 10-yard line. First and goal to go for Alabama at the Auburn 10. Alabama 19, Auburn 14.
The drive started at the 6-yard line of Alabama.
Coley shows it to the fullback and gives it to the fullback. Moore to the 5. Second down and goal with 3:10 to play in the third quarter.
Isn't it a great thing for a coach to have 2 quarterbacks, Keith? One is outstanding pass and a good runner. He gets bunged up a little bit, and his substitute comes in and moves the team from the 6-yard line to the opponent's 4-yard line, mixing up running and passing.
Just inside the 5, second down and goal. Now they'll give it to the big guy, and they'll get him to about the 4, and that'll do it. It's Ben Thomas, the big sophomore from Ashburn, Georgia, rose up to make the stop for Auburn.
In terms of good offense, mixing up the offense, listen to this. Alabama's rushed for 219 yards, and they've passed for exactly 219 so far in the ballgame.
Ball is still just inside the 5. Third down and goal. Matter of starch here. If Alabama takes it 94 yards and sticks it in, it'll take starch out of Auburn. If the Auburn defense can get out of here with a field goal, that'll brace them up. And Coley turns it upfield to the 1. Fourth and goal.
How close is it? If it's close inside of 1, you go for it. If it's outside of 1, or close to 2 yards, you'll go for the field goal. It's inside the 1. He's still going for the field goal to get 8-point lead. Field goal would give him 8 points.
Kim today, Peter Kim, has hit from 37 and from 33. This will be a chip shot, and he is 1 out of 3 inside the 20. Hold is good. The kick was up. Penalty flag on the field.
If it is against Auburn, that means it's going to be 4th and a foot. Does he take the 3 points? Or does he wipe it off and go for the touchdown? He's going for the touchdown. He's going back in there. If it's against Auburn, in comes the running backs at least. Though his 2 captains are coming out to get the call. That's what that was. His 2 captains are coming out to see exactly what the call is.
Here comes the third one, Tommy Wilcox.
All 3 captains are out there, 15 men. I've only seen one time.
Procedure, offense.
Oh, it's against Alabama.
Encroachment, defense.
Whoops.
No play. Replay the down.
Play it over. Keith, I've only seen one time in my life where a team took the 3 points off the goal line. It was Oklahoma in a game against Colorado, and they took the 3 points off and didn't make the touchdown. Lost the 3 points and lost the ball.
Oh. He'll stay with the field goal unit. Peter Kim.
I might add that 3 points wasn't a factor in the score, in the final score.
Now it's an 18-yarder. 18 yards. Second time he's hit it from there. And the second time he has knocked it through. But this time it counts. And Alabama builds its lead 22-14. Time, 1 possession in the third quarter. And that last possession, Alabama went 93 yards and held it 8 minutes and 27 seconds. Auburn has had the ball just about a minute in the whole third quarter with 1:19 to play. And the kickoff by Sanders is beyond the in line. And Auburn will again come back out to its 20 for a first down. ABC's presentation of Monday Night Football matches Miami against Tampa Bay. That's on Monday night. And then Thursday night, a football special for you here on ABC. The San Francisco 49ers, Los Angeles Rams, both of them 9 Eastern time.
Both of them, both games are intra-state rivalries. Miami and Tampa, and L.A. and San Francisco. Should be heated and emotional.
Rams are having hard times right now. First down, Auburn at the 20. Out of the eye, go to Jackson. And Bo Jackson runs it to the 30. And he's got a first down. That's second time that they have run that ball off that side with Jackson carrying. And last time he got 9, this time he got 10.
Up until the Georgia game a week ago, Jackson had the highest average per try in the conference. He was over 7. Now he's 6.5 per try.
From the 30. Jackson again. About 4 yards. Randy Edwards, big junior from Marietta, Georgia, made the tackle for Alabama. And we're now running at 40 seconds to go in the third quarter.
Alabama defense has been outstanding against the run, and its secondary has done a great job against Auburn's passing attack.
Lionel James with it. Hit. Line of scrimmage. Jarring tackle by number 49, Steve Booker, strong side linebacker. Haven't called Tommy Wilcox's name much today. Tommy's been out on the field much of the day, but he is playing in a relatively fragile condition. As time runs out in the third quarter, Alabama 22, Auburn 14. We'll continue after this commercial message and the word from our local station. Here we go, the final 15 minutes of this old traditional between Auburn and Alabama. Alabama leading 22-14. It is 3rd down and 5 Auburn at their own 35. And Randy Campbell. Low, low. No good to Chris Woods. He tried to thread it between 2 defenders, and Woods couldn't come up with it. Let's check in with Jim Lampley again.
Keith, we all know about Herschel Walker, but Georgia Tech has a great back of its own in Robert Levette. Levette has overshadowed Walker with 98 yards rushing in the first half. This pass reception by Levette set up a field goal by Ron Rice just before halftime. They've now gone to the half, and it's 7-6 Georgia in a battle. Keith?
Thank you, Jimmy. And back here in Birmingham now, it's 4th down and 5 for Auburn. And Lewis Colbert. Last 3 kicks have been dandies, and there's another good one. Baruch will field this one. There's 2 men back to help him on the return. A penalty flag goes down up around the 30. That was a 47-yard punt. So his first one was bad, but everything since then has been terrific. We've got a timeout.
Last year, Arkansas ran hog wild over Texas, trampling their hopes for the national championship. Next Saturday, Texas wants revenge. A Southwest shootout on ABC.
Penalty called against Alabama, the receiving team, for blocking below the waist on the reception. And that backs them up now. The ball is marked at the 12, where it'll be 1st down for the Tide. And after 3 periods of play, Alabama's big bulge in total offense is so obvious.
You can see the complete balance in their attack between passing and running, 221 to 219, and the turnovers are the only thing that's kept Auburn in the ball game as they capitalized on a fumble in the air and an interception.
Ken Coley directing this one and gives the ball off to Lenny Patrick, and Patrick comes bolting out of there across the 20 and out almost to a 1st down. Patrick, now a junior out of Jasper, Alabama, brought down by Mark Dorminey, a senior from Miami, Florida.
In talking to Al Moore, the offensive coordinator, he felt that Auburn's defense would be too tough. As we look at the 2 quarterbacks and the success that they've had running football and also passing. But Mal Moore told me that they were going to have to throw the ball, and they've come out throwing and loosened up the Auburn defense.
At the 21, 2nd down and 1. And that's Joe Carter going in motion. They give it to Patrick again. Patrick trying to get his 1st down. And he's struggling for it with Gerald Williams hanging on to him. Here's Williams, that big 269-pound freshman.
He's number 98. Look how big. You can see the strength in his legs. He gets a good charge, gets penetration. It's a draw play. He's going to get trapped by the left offensive guard, Adcock, number 76. But he runs around the block. The play is full enough to make the tackle. Fine play by the freshman.
3rd down and 1. Oh, look at this. Auburn stunting. Just depends where they mark it. Patrick again carrying the ball.
Lenny Patrick, the Alabama tailback, is a very interesting story for the Alabama fans. He's been in hot water with Bear from time to time, but he's a very talented player. Very talented, and Bear has stayed with him, trying to get him to do the things that he should do, both on and off the field.
They're going to bring the chains to measure. Oh, they're going to call it 1st down. So they move them up after taking a good look at it across the field. And with 13:25 to play in the football game, Alabama's got 4 more snaps. They lead by 8 points, 22 to 14. Coley rides it, caught behind the line of scrimmage, gets away from Williams. And finally, Auburn drops him after a yard, maybe. I think Gerald Williams making himself known out there now, isn't he?
Yes, his quickness is what confused the quarterback, Coley, who was trying to read his charge, and he misread the play, elected to keep it when he should have possibly handed off to the fullback for a nice gain. First half and second half, all one-sided. Very much of a surprise to us, as Alabama's defense had not expected to be this strong.
2nd down and 8. That's Carter. And Carter is up across the 25. So Alabama's going to be looking at third down and about 6 now, long 6.
This is the first series or possession that I've seen Alabama really go conservative, Keith. They've been taking the ball outside or passing on either first or second down and keeping Auburn off balance. They were a little bit worried about a turnover. They don't want to give Auburn field position again. They've been very conservative.
Alabama 6 out of 10 on third down conversion. Riccoli back to throw. Well, they give him the middle, and he takes off. But he didn't get his first down. Didn't get his first down. Greg Carr and Dow Aukman. While they had opened up the middle, those two came back and closed it, and so Alabama will have to punt. And Malcolm Simmons has not punted yet today. He was in on one punt formation, but Walter Lewis actually wound up doing the kicking. But now Simmons is in there, and he's a good one. Turns around and finds the snap, but he gets good spin on it. That's another good kick. Lionel James backs up to his 24 and comes back to his 28, and that'll do it. 49-yard punt by Malcolm Simmons with 11 minutes and 23 seconds to play in the ball game. Right, the Goodyear Blimp America with that picture. Regent Field in Birmingham. Now Auburn with the ball. First down. Ball at the 27. And Randy Campbell, who is 3 for 8 for 32 yards in passing. That is a great part of the story of Auburn's failure to move the ball offensively against Alabama today. That pitch goes outside to Lionel James, and he gets it around the corner and gets decent gain out of it before Jeremiah Castile and Emmanuel King on him out of bounds.
Number 6, Lionel James, has had a sensational career for Auburn.
Now gained 50 yards today on 11 carries. The ball is marked just outside the 34. It'll be second down about 3. Bo Jackson working out of the tailback spot. He breaks it big. Inside the Alabama 15, out of bounds at the Tide 13. Tommy Wilcox and Jeremiah Castile had a little bit of an angle on him. Otherwise, they would have never caught him. 52 yards.
Watch the blocking on your left. Lionel James, number 6, he just rolled up the cornerback, made the place possible. You see Jackson, just a freshman, make a sensational run, giving Auburn. Watch the corner of your screen. Watch James. He rolled up the Wilcox, the strong safety, and then Jackson made the free safety miss him, which was Blue. Big gain and another opportunity for Auburn.
First down at the Alabama 13, and they hand it inside. And it goes to Greg Pratt, the fullback. 220-pounder, spins it down to about the 9.
Keith, and going back to that last play, in looking at film, Lionel James is the best one-on-one blocker for a back in the wishbone attack that I've ever seen play.
Mark that ball just inside the 8. Give Pratt 5 yards on that carry and make it second down and 5.
Bears word, I don't blame him.
Again. Inside with it. And Campbell trying to come off that snap. That's the second time today that he has got tangled up coming off the snap. He never really delivered the ball.
Keith, it looked like the left guard, Stokes, who happens to be a freshman, retreated a little bit, got right in, his feet right in, tangled up with Campbell's feet, the quarterback.
So it's third down and still about 5.
They ran the draw play here
expensive play, that one. Double wide. Out of the wishbone. Campbell getting pressure from the backside, and they get him down at about the 6. It was one of those defensive ends. I think it was Mike Pitts coming from the backside. It was.
Good call. Pitts. Keith, Mike was playing on the left side because he's playing towards the tight end. He came all the way across the line, all the way across to catch the quarterback.
Now Auburn will send out the field goal unit with 9 minutes and 20 seconds to play in the ball game. And Al Del Greco
They try one from 23 yards.
Del Greco kicked six field goals against Kentucky this season.
It's up there, and it's good. So Del Greco hits from 23. And with 9:06 to play in the ball game, Auburn is still in the hunt. Alabama 22 and Auburn 17. Time remaining, 9:06. 5-point lead for Alabama. Del Greco will kick off for Auburn. Joey Jones deep to receive it for the Tide. And it's a high hanger that drifts off to the other side of the field for Craig Turner in the end zone. He puts it down. Alabama will have the ball, first down, and it's 20. Georgia and Georgia Tech at halftime. The Engineers on 2 field goals. And they finally got a hold of Herschel Walker. He had one big bolt for 59 yards, if I heard it correctly. And he now totals 84 in the first half. It's that scoreboard that means so much to Georgia, ranked number 1 and headed for a matchup against Penn State in the Sugar Bowl. Walter Lewis comes back in this series at quarterback for Alabama. And Lewis is 6 for 6 and 72 yards in this half, passing. On the roll. Delivers it. A pass intended for Vendross up the field, and it looked to me like that number 35, Jeff Fagan, might have reached up in the air and tried to make the catch and tipped it away. Bob Harris was there covering.
Bob Harris was the strong safety covering the short man. Looked like that Lewis tried to throw the ball too low. As Auburn drive, scoring summary, 5 plays, 67 yards, most of it on the ground by 1 run. Bo Jackson, the freshman, sensational freshman.
Second down and 10. Gives the ball to Caruth. And Caruth has a first down for Alabama out at the 31. Alabama broke on top to lead 7-0. Then Auburn came back to tie it. And so Alabama got an 8-point lead. And now they're trying to sit on the ball. And they really dominated the third quarter of play with this kind of offensive control.
Get him over here.
Now here in the fourth quarter, they're trying to reassert themselves again and drive it a long way and gobble away at the clock. Now running at 8:45 to play in the game. From the 31, first down. Give it to the fullback. And it's Ricky Moore. Coming up on ABC's Wide World of Sports today, we've got Theo Stevenson against Tyrell Biggs, and then the amateur boxing competition, you'll see the USA team against the Cubans in a dual meet. Again, a measurement of how our young people are developing as they point toward the 1984 Olympic Games. Alabama now with 25 first downs in this game. Auburn 7. Walter Lewis trying to get outside and around the corner. And Christopher Martin will have none of it.
Just a sensational play by Chris Martin, the linebacker, in terms of what his assignment. Checked the fullback. The fullback didn't have the ball. Scrapes off outside and penetrates and tackles Lewis behind the line of scrimmage.
The ball is now sitting at the 33. It is third down and 8 for Alabama.
Oh, Alabama gone very conservative again.
Blindside pressure. Lewis gets it off, and it is almost intercepted. Dow Ortman, number 61, the big middle guard, got his hands on it. Ben Thomas was the man making life miserable for Walter Lewis.
Lewis was rushed out of the pocket. He actually just drifted. He should not have thrown the ball because it could have been intercepted. Number 61, Ortman, as Keith mentioned, nose guard is all the way over there, thinking it's a screen. Watch it. It goes right through his hand. Could have given Auburn another scoring opportunity on Alabama mistakes.
Malcolm Simmons in the punt. One time today, 49 yards. No pressure on it. Left footer knuckleballs it upfield. Depends on the bounce. Takes an Auburn bounce. Comes back up. And it's put down. So the Auburn Tigers are going to get the football first down at their own 33 with 7:06 to play in the game. Time now becoming very precious. 7:06. Paul Bryant, checkered hat, walking the sideline. 22-17, his team leads. Pat Dye realizing that he may not have his team get their hands on that ball too many more times. Trying to get an offensive series going now. First down from the 33. Campbell on an option. Outside to Jackson. Bo Jackson comes over the top. And he reaches the 36. That's a 3-yard pickup. Stan Gay coming up from the right corner. Good support on it. He and Russ Wood made the stop. And now Chris Woods, the quick wide out for Auburn, comes into the ball game. Frank, they got to throw something.
Yet they're very limited in their pass attack. Campbell is not a strong passer. Auburn quarterback.
5-man defensive front for Alabama. 5-4. Campbell puts it up, and Woods has got it. They're going to mark him at the 46 for a first down. Nope, they mark it closer to the 45.
Woods, number one, is going to push deep, turn, and he waits on the ball. The ball, he wants it right now. Ball's a little bit late. Now, it looks like he may be trying. No, I don't believe he's trying to lateral it. He does make a good run. After the catch, he's averaging 20 yards of reception for the season.
Al Blue, number 34, involved. So is Tommy Wilcox, 15. And it's first down for Auburn at 45. Auburn's finally over 200 yards in total offense today. Goes to Lionel James. And he sort of ducks his head and finds a little crack in there and gets about 4 yards. Clock running, 5:50. Well, if they can grind it down there and stick it in the end zone, they'd have a lead. They'd also have a tough decision to make on whether to go for 1 or 2. And then Alabama, if Auburn continues to grind it, it's going to have very little time in which to counter. That's a penalty flag. Down the sideline and thrown over the head of the intended receiver, Chris Woods. I think Woods might have moved up the field too soon. He was coming back in, went in motion to the sidelines, coming back toward the ball. And then when he went back, I think he turned upfield a little bit.
That's a planned play. And the official didn't catch it. They should have warned the official. Pat Dye told me that was one of the plays where the man is close enough to the line. I'm sure Pat's going to yell at him and try to get his attention because really the man was legal. He wasn't a substitute, as he described the play to me yesterday. And they're arguing about it over on the sideline right now. The officials missed the play because it's really a very legal play. All that the receiver was doing was going in motion.
Yeah, but I thought he turned up the
Well,
field.
he could have turned up too quickly. You're right.
Offense decline. Third down.
What they were trying to do is make Alabama think he was going off the field, and he would have been open. Alabama thought that he was going off as an extra substitute. That was a planned play. It didn't work.
He had him open, Frank. All he had to do was hit him with the ball. The flag, of course, had negated it. The Auburn sideline still hollering about it.
I don't blame him. I don't think the official knew what happened. In a play like that, you have to warn the officials about it, and the ref and the quarterback should tell the referee, here it comes, so that they'll understand what's happening.
Third down and 7 from the 49. They go to Bo Jackson. He's close. Well, they put him down. They're going to get him inside the 45, close to the 44. Well, now Auburn's going to be in a picture. I think they'll have to go. 5 minutes and 16 seconds to play.
They'll have to go, but the linesman marking the ball, really, you can hear the Auburn people booing because he brought the ball back a good 2 feet.
Bo Jackson now, 12 carries and 100 yards. Just
Sure, they've got to go for it. Got no choice. But I want to tell you, the official spotting that ball brought it back a good 2 feet.
Well, he just marked it on first down.
Thought it was correct. I thought that Jackson had another 2 or 3 feet.
Well, the big guy goes over the top. There are certain things that Jackson does that looks a lot like Herschel Walker, that being one of them. And obviously, he's got the first down as they put the ball just inside the Alabama 43.
Critical yardage, you think they'd go for the big back blocking and a little back carrying the ball. They go just the reverse with James blocking and freshman Jackson carrying it.
Staying in the wishbone now. Goes to Jackson. And he's hit at the 40. Mike Rodriguez, a big junior from Melbourne, Florida.
Auburn has plenty of time to mix up their running. Coming down to close to 4 minutes and 40 seconds. They've got time to possession-type passing and hoping that either James or Jackson, both very capable of breaking the long run.
Second down, a little over 7 for the first down. Just go to the Alabama 40. Randy Campbell wants to throw. They run him out of the pocket and then sack him. So the Alabama defense again rises up, and they get Campbell back at the 46. Randy Edwards, Russ Wood.
Play action pass, which means the receivers have better be open. Campbell gets one look. There it is. It's not there, and your lineman cannot protect any longer. All your quarterback can do is start scrambling, but I guess that's Edwards, number 96, that makes the play. Now Auburn is in serious trouble. Third and long, extra long.
Third and 14. Campbell goes to Edwards to the 31-yard line and a first down. Big Mike Edwards pulled it in.
This is a great throw by Campbell. Watch him rifle that ball. Zoom. Look at the tight sparrow. There wasn't much room there. It took a perfect throw to Edwards. Watch Edwards get open right on the sideline. The toughest place to defend by the defensive back is as close to the sideline as possible. You can see the game was close to him, but not enough to make the play.
And we've got a timeout with 3 minutes and 30 seconds to play in the ball game. Well, things are buzzing at Legion Field right now as Auburn has the football. First down, just short of the Alabama 30. 3.5 minutes to play in the game. And Alabama leading by 5 points. Randy Campbell on 3rd and 14, threw for 15 to get the first down. Campbell puts it up again, goes to Edwards and throws it behind him. Edwards was open right in front of Castile, but Campbell missed him.
Just the perfect time to blitz for Alabama. You're in trouble, go after it. Opponents, make something happen. Wilcox was coming from the wide side of the field and gave from the corner, from the back side.
Second and 10 for Auburn. Six-man front. Wilcox is up on the line. And over the middle it goes for Chris Wood. It is intercepted by Castile. I think they're going to call Castile for pass interference.
I believe it was a good call. Castile hit the receiver before the ball was there. Alabama had a safety blitz on. That's the reason there was no safety man playing man-for-man coverage. Castile has intercepted 7 passes, 16 in his career, All-American on this by most of the teams this year.
It'll be first down and goal to go for Auburn inside the Alabama 10.
Defensive pass interference.
Watch Woods.
Touchdown.
Woods has territorial right. Castile, number 19, cannot make contact before the ball gets to the receiver. There it is, right there. Contact. The safety blitz was on. Man-for-man coverage is what Alabama was playing. Very good call by the officials. Now, Auburn Keith has first down on the 9, which is the toughest place to have a first down.
That's right.
If you're going to get one inside the 10, please let me have it on the 6 or the 5, not on the 9.
Well, my goodness. First and goal from the 9. Penalty flags down as the ball goes to Jackson, and the whistles stop it. Both sides will move it, and I don't know who moved first.
Well, the tight end did move, number 85. head west. But I don't know whether he was drawn or not.
It's against Auburn. Oh, my goodness. Poise, poise, poise.
Well, that makes it 1st and 14, Keith, and that's hard.
Red ball foul. Illegal procedure. Offense.
Auburn had the football at the Georgia 14 first down and couldn't put it in with a chance to beat Georgia.
It was 3 minutes on the clock, and Georgia stopped them to preserve their victory.
Now it's 1st and goal at the Alabama 14 after the 5-yard penalty, and Campbell back to throw. Going for Chris Woods. No. Defending Castile. 2nd down and goal.
Auburn, as we look at Bear Bryant, who has to be worried. Watch the play of Castile and Woods. 1-on-1, number 19. Castile has already been selected All-American. He's got outside responsibility. He's beaten deep. The ball was thrown too far to the outside. If Campbell could have laid it up over the head of Castile, it could have possibly been a touchdown.
3 minutes and 14 seconds to play in the game. Alabama leading by 5.
Safety blitz. There it goes.
Outside to Bo Jackson. And Jackson is cut down at the 10.
And
the man who had the pressure on him was number 89, Russ Wood.
When I say safety blitz, the most unusual free safety blitz, which is coming up the middle. Normally when we say safety blitz, we're talking about Wilcox coming from the corner. So Wilcox was coming from the corner, and also the free safety, Blue, was coming right up the middle. Now they're back to where they started with the ball before the penalty.
But it's 3rd down.
Auburn's defense has just kept them in the football game, and the offense has made just enough to have a chance to win.
Auburn now takes timeout. There seems some indecision, and rather than blow a play, they call a timeout. Auburn with 1 timeout remaining. Alabama has all 3 remaining. 2 minutes and 45 seconds to play, and Alabama leading 22-17. All kinds of conjecture available here. Suppose they don't make the touchdown on 3rd down. What do? Do you go ahead and kick the field goal, make it a 22-20 ball game? And if you can have lightning strike for you, hold Alabama, maybe get the ball back, make a big play, then you've got a chance to win with a field goal.
Those are some options they both are going to have to consider.
Here's Jim Lampley.
You're looking at a live shot from Sanford Stadium in Athens, Georgia, where Georgia looked more assertive on its first possession of the 3rd quarter than they had previously. Herschel Walker has now gone over 100 yards in the game. Kevin Butler kicked a field goal at the end of the Georgia drive, and the Dogs have extended their lead over Georgia Tech to 10-6. Earlier, incidentally, I passed along a statistical mistake, Keith. I was told that Herschel Walker needed 181 yards to move into the number 3 spot on all-time NCAA rushing. He needed only 81 yards, and as a consequence, he has become the number 3 man on the list today. Now back to Keith Jackson.
And with a year to go.
Maybe.
Yeah. Well, the Alabama side is holding its breath. The Auburn side is roaring lustily here at Legion Field on 3rd down and goal. Campbell puts it up. He's got it to Bo Jackson. Jackson is down just short of the goal line. He's a foot away.
That was a sensational catch and effort by the freshman, Bo Jackson. Watch this again. He is coming out of the backfield in the short flat. The ball is right on target, but watch what this freshman does. You can see why many people say he's the 2nd best talent in the Southeast. He's going over the top, trying to get there, and he gets right to the 1-foot line.
I think it's Wilcox down. It is Tommy Wilcox who made the saving tackle, and Tommy just went at him. He only knows how to play football one way, and that's full bore. So he came in there playing hurt at 195 pounds, and he took on that big running back who weighs, with all that gear on him, close to 230 pounds. It was a massive collision, and Wilcox is down. 2.5 minutes to play in the ball game. Now you see that Georgia has edged out to a 4-point lead over Georgia Tech. Number 1 ranked Georgia Bulldogs.
My heart is beating fast as if I was coaching, and I'm not kidding. This is a tremendous opportunity for Pat Dye, who is in his second year, as we look at Bear, trying to figure out how close is it. There's Pat. Go get him. What a fine young football coach he is. Boy, this would put him ahead of schedule if he could upset Alabama today.
4th down, goal to go, a half a yard.
Give the ball to Jackson over the top, the same play they made on short yardage earlier in the drive, back on the 30-yard line.
Wilcox is up now, and Tommy's going to walk off. I remember another Alabama defensive back who made a marvelous play in the Sugar Bowl to save a game against Penn State. Don McNeil. Remember that?
Oh, he did. Same type of play, in fact.
Yep.
He tackled the receiver on the same type play at the 1-yard line. Penn State went over the top twice, and Alabama threw it back and won the national championship in a game that we'll all remember. And we'll have another national championship game, it looks like, if Georgia can stay ahead in the Sugar Bowl January the 1st. If Auburn should score, Keith, I think they'll go for 2 to try to force Alabama to go for the touchdown to win the game. Give them a 3-point lead.
First things first. 4th and goal and a half a yard. Jackson! Touchdown! Side of the Legion Field with 2 minutes and 26 seconds to play in the ball game. Auburn will go for 2. 23-22 Auburn. They're going to try to make it 25. Campbell is hit down by Russ Wood. The 2-point try fails. So they go 66 yards in 14 plays to take a 1-point lead, 23-22, with 2:26 to play. Well, there's your whole story right there on the scoreboard. Del Greco ready to kick it off. Joey Jones deep for Alabama. 2:26. Alabama with 3 timeouts left. It's a high hanger. But Jones, he's 3-4 yards deep in the end zone. He isn't going to mess with it. He knows Auburn's all jacked up, so he's going to just take it up at 20 and let him cool a little bit.
There are the numbers on the touchdown drive. And obviously, the offense has been ineffective, but when they had to, they moved 66 yards when it meant the difference in possibly winning or losing the football game. Perfect example of the defense keeping you in the ball game. Good kicking, good defense, no turnovers. You always have a chance to win.
Alabama has thrown the ball well today, 219 yards. That's their highest passing total of the season. And Walter Lewis is the quarterback. He gets it off. It is incomplete and almost intercepted by Dennis Collier. Hit him right on the breastbone. Right on the number.
I think if I was playing my defense against Walter Lewis, as we look at this play, Collier, number 47, gets a good break on the ball, comes up, but he's coming so hard into the pass that he couldn't control it. I believe I would rush Lewis. He's too good. Scrambling and gives too much time. I believe I'd go after him with this much distance.
Second down and 10. Got it up to Ricky Moore, the fullback. And Moore is up to the 24. Doug Smith hit him, and Smith hit him hard. Smith 266, 265. And Gerald Robinson, 6'4", 242, was putting the pressure on Lewis that time. Moore is shaken up, and a timeout for him with 2 minutes and 4 seconds to play in the ball game. And you can see there in that graphic that this man, Paul Bryant, has never lost 3 games in a row in a single season, the same season at Alabama.
So
So Bear, since he went to the Wishbone in 1971, has won 116 games and lost only 15 and tied 1. It is 3rd down and 6 at the 24. Lewis is dangerous. He's got enough room for his first down, but he throws the ball and it ricochets out of the hands of Bendross up at the 40. Lewis could have run for it, but he saw Bendross upfield and he hit him right in the stomach with the ball.
I've seen Bear Bryant have all the luck in the world to go with his great ability, his team. Here is a tough break. Bendross is an excellent receiver. The ball is right there. Somehow he cannot control it, and it falls incomplete. Auburn is very lucky.
4th down and 6, and Alabama's going with 1:53 to play. Lewis back. Loops it upfield. It is intercepted. He tried to touch the ball, and Bob Harris intercepted at the Alabama 30. His second interception of the ball game with 1:45 to play, and it looks like Auburn has a great opportunity now to break a long drought. Auburn has not beaten Alabama since 1972 with a famous block kick game, 17-16. They put it down at the 31.
Keith, I just want to mention again, as we look at Bear, we know how disappointed he must be. It's amazing that coaches have said all along, if you don't beat yourself, you'll stay in the football game with a good defense. And Auburn has been patient. They have not turned the ball over. They have had good kicking, and they're about to win the biggest game probably of Pat Dye's career.
1:45 to play. Lionel James going to run as wide as he can and as long as he can. And they've got him down at about the 25. Jeremiah Castillo brought him down.
Let's look at the interception. I think it was really a poor choice. I would have come back and repeated the play that they had open on 3rd down. But Lewis is throwing out of the pocket. This doesn't give him a chance to scramble or make the first down on the run. He's not as good out of the pocket. Something Alabama has added this year, and he just lays it up perfect for interception. Great play by the defense.
Throwing to an unlikely receiver in Craig Turner at that particular time. He tried to touch it in, and it exploded in his face. Timeout. The time now becomes the most dramatic factor. 1:26 to play in the ball game. Alabama with 2 timeouts remaining. Auburn with 1. All Auburn wants to do is run it around, run the clock down. On 2nd down and 5. Campbell gives to James. James pops it over the right side and struggles to about the 22 before Rodriguez can stop his forward motion, and Wilcox back in the ball game for Alabama. Tommy took a whack in the head when he took on Bo Jackson. Alabama spends another of its timeouts. Now the clock shows 1:13 to play in the ball game. Well, as you said, Frank, if Auburn holds on now, as they're looking at 3rd down and a yard to win this ball game, I don't think there's any question it's the biggest win in Pat Dye's career.
Pat Dye has his record isn't as impressive as other coaches because he's turned 3 jobs around. East Carolina had a losing program. He came back, turned it to a winning program. Same at Wyoming, and he's doing it at Auburn. He's definitely ahead of schedule at Auburn. If he should win this game, make an 8-3 victory over Alabama. Pat Dye.
The most valuable players in the ball game for Auburn, Bo Jackson, running back. Jackson, 16 carries, 110 yards and a touchdown. For Alabama, Walter Lewis, 14 out of 24, 204 yards, a touchdown. And each university will receive from Chevrolet in the names of those players $1,000 each for their general scholarship fund. 3rd down and 1. Alabama's got to hold them if they have any hopes. Jackson over the top. Fumbles the football. Alabama's got it. Can you believe it? In 1:09 to play in the ball game. Bo Jackson went over the top. The ball came loose. And here's Alabama, not dead yet.
Not with Walter Lewis scrambling at quarterback. Let's see if we can detect why the ball pops out. Jackson, the right halfback, is going over the top.
Oh, he had it out there like a loaf of bread, and it came right down on somebody's
ball.
helmet.
Way back out here. Yes, he lost going up, it seemed like.
From the 21 for Alabama, first down in a minute and 9 seconds to play, and Walter Lewis on a roll. He's got Ben Gross open. Jesse holds on to it. And it's a first down for Alabama up at the 36, 15 yards on the pass. And the clock stops while the chains are moved. A minute and 2 to play in a ball game. A field goal can win it for Alabama. 23-22 Auburn. Each team now with one timeout remaining. Ben Gross and Joey Jones, the wide people. 56 seconds to go in the ball game. Walter Lewis, he gets his pass off. The pass is complete, and it's good for a first down up at the 47. And again, the clock will stop with 48 seconds to play.
It's the same pass that Ben Gross dropped on third down in the previous possession. They've gone to it twice, and both times it's open. The linebacker should stay in on the curl, force him to throw the ball short outside.
Now the chain is down, and the clock is running at 42 seconds to play. Walter Lewis again rolling out. Has time, gets it off to the sideline. Too long. And it's incomplete. Ben Gross coming out of bounds to make the catch.
Keith, he was wide open. Yes. Lewis just held the ball a little bit too long. At this rate, Alabama can make 2 pass completions and be in field goal range. I still would rush. I still would go after Lewis. I would not defend in this situation on every down. Lewis is too good.
35 seconds to play in the ball game. 1-point lead for Auburn, 23-22. Lewis back, getting a little pressure this time. Ottman, and he throws the ball. That may be grounding. It was Ben Thomas, number 91, that got him, and it's intentional grounding against Walter Lewis. And 30 seconds to play.
I'm really surprised that they had a running play fake. There's no need to fake the running play with 30 seconds on the clock. That just gives the defense time to penetrate. And, of course, Auburn came from the backside.
Intentional grounding. Lost it down. Third down.
Well, the ball comes back now to the Alabama 25.
He's faking, Keith, and you don't get as good a protection there. Lewis is just rolling out.
They've got to go to the Auburn 43 for the first down. They need 32 yards. Pressure. Got him by the coattail, but he gets away and dumps it off to Craig Turner. And Turner to the sidelines and out of bounds up at the 30. Now 20 seconds to play in the game.
Putting a little pressure on Lewis now, and that's what's important. Alabama's not known really for their passing statistics. They are play-action pass when they're in the ball game, not from a come-from-behind situation. So their protection's not quite as good as a normal passing team would be.
Again, that was Ben Thomas, the big sophomore, 267-pounder that had a hold of Walter Lewis. Lewis broke away. Walter's 6'1", 209 himself. It's got to go deep. He got it over the middle, and it is incomplete. And with 13 seconds to play in the ball game, Auburn gets the ball. Quincy Williams was back, and he forced Walter Lewis to throw the ball. Lewis was looking deep. He didn't have anybody deep. And then when Williams arrived, he had to let it go.
It shows again that the offense going up and down the field, unless you put it in the goal line, doesn't mean all that much. Alabama controlled the offensive ball, made close to 500 yards total offense, and still is going to get beat by a team that's just over 200 yards.
2 big plays. The fumble snatched out of the air and returned for 62 yards, and the interception, the 2 interceptions, actually by James. No, not James. The safety man.
Bob Harris.
Bob Harris. Well, they'll count it down. It's a happy day for the Auburn Tigers and their partisans. They comes storming out onto the field. There's 5 seconds remaining to play in the ball game. They're trying to tear down the goalpost. I don't know if they can ever restore order after this. They're probably just as well now to let things run off and time expire.
3 teams have beaten Alabama this year: Tennessee, LSU, and Auburn, that haven't beaten them in over a decade.
Well, everything in life is cyclical, and the cycle means around, and you can't avoid it. Sooner or later, you're going to have a few down times, and he's had few. And they're going to let the clock run off now, and the game is over as Paul Bryant walks off, losing for the first time since 1972 to Auburn. As Pat Dye's youngsters rose up when the occasion was offered them, when the opportunity was in front of them, and they stuck it in the end zone. And the final score, Auburn 23, Alabama 22. They're determined to tear that goalpost down, and
just hope no one gets hurt, Pete, because it's going to fall right into the crowd of people in just a minute.
That's heavy metal. I remember one time up at Michigan State seeing a young man climb up on one of those metal goalposts, and he wound up with an injury, a serious injury, and let's just hope that that end of it that's sticking way up in the air now doesn't come crashing down on somebody.
It's been a long dry spell for the Auburn War Eagle fans, but probably as enthusiastic as any in America.
So the celebration is on in the loveliest village of the plains.